It's only been, what, a week? Oh. Kind of weird how everything looks different when you're looking through someone else's eyes. Where did I put my keys? I think it was the flower pots, or was it a doormat? Hold on. Nope, not the flower pot, the doormat. There we go. Okay. It's only been a week. No one's moved in yet. No, I don't think so. You know, I know you're probably a little bit annoyed with me still driving, but I think it'd be a lot of effort to take on and off the mask. So I'll give everything back once we're in the office again. You know, practicing magic for as long as I have, and I open my apartment door as I step in, as Ikenna steps into the apartment. You sort of develop a sixth sense, seventh sense, depending on who you speak to, when it comes to being watched. And I'll walk into my bedroom. Ikenna will walk into their bedroom. And it is an absolute mess. The bed sheets, the bed is not made at all. There are piles of unwashed laundry on a chair in the corner. Their desktop, their computer probably is on and has been on for the past week or however long they've been away. Curtain is half drawn, half open, and they walk to their bed and kind of get down on all fours to look underneath the bed. You're, from what I've heard and seen, Catsi, I think you're getting used to that feeling at this point, being watched, especially with that creature, but not to brag, but being involved in the other world for as long as I have and surviving it, like you start to figure out there are other eyes watching. And they'll reach underneath their bed and lift up a floorboard and reach underneath to pull out this book. It's pretty small. It looks like more like a hand journal, very old and weathered leather around it, covering it, binding it. The pages you can see that they're yellowing from age already. However long this has been around, it's definitely longer than Ikenna or anyone that's alive. This definitely came before even maybe his grandmother that he's claiming this belonged to. And they pull it out. On the front, you see a ton of seemingly random scratches and claw marks. But as they kind of pull it out from underneath the bed and the light hits it, you see that different claw marks seem to like almost reflect light in a different way, making different sigils depending on how you twist and rotate this book. And there's a set of eyes, quite a lot of eyes that I've noticed are watching your group more than others. And they kind of look into the middle distance, into the camera. I know this running gag you have, I'm not playing along with it. Just keep watching. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, Observer.
Sledge on that pole a couple of times would probably take care of it. You guys moved?
Yes, we did. We had URM.
Well, I've got it here. There's somebody nearby.
wonder if they ever found out.
Well, now I reckon I ought to tell you a story about a little office that handles things nobody else will. You know, the supernatural, super unnatural, hauntings, hexes. The whole list is rather long, and we don't have near enough daylight for that. What you need to know is this. Ain't no script here. We make it up as we go. Music, sounds, etc. It's all produced for you live, like magic. And it being a scary story and all, I'm assuming it will have all the things scary stories do. But I'm just guessing here, because of it being improvised and all. Alls I know is with this cast, well, it's probably gonna be brutal, violent, and have enough moral decay to make our therapists quit. You got one of those, right? Good. So use your brain, okay? It's gonna be scary, strange, and dumb as hell. Oh, f*** off, you.
Henna, driving Akachi's body right now, takes a seat on their bed with the book in hand and opens it up. Kind of flicks through the weathered pages, and in each page you see you see drawings and diagrams and sigils drawn into it, some on the back of the front cover, some on actual pages, and they seem to be taking notes of things in a language that how can I say is not mundane. It's a sort of shorthand. At first glance does not make much sense, but as you watch Kenna go through this, it seems they understand it pretty easily. And as they're flicking through these pages, once they hit the halfway point of this journal, of this book, the pages stop turning, as if they're resisting his finger flipping it over. Okay, I don't know why it would have been different in your body, but it's worth a try. This is what we're looking for, this creature. And I'll flip to one of the pages that's been kind of etched and drawn into this, and you see a very rough, almost purposefully rough when you compare it to the other drawings and depictions of creatures in this book, very vague and rough, a rushed drawing of a creature, seems long and stretched, its face long, its eyes seem to be pulled down lower than they should be and stretched out. It has 4 arms, each of them different lengths, but all way too long. It has 3 legs, 2 on one side of the body, 1 on the other. And again, some of them, the joints and the knees and the spots where the ankles should be are all off. And they have these pitch black, darker than any pencil or pen should be able to draw them. It seems like magic must have been used even in the drawing itself in this book. I think this might be related to what your friend and you came across, Akachi. Not exactly, but hopefully it helps. I think we should head back. I don't think it's good that I'm back here for too long. So I'll take the mask off because I don't think I have as much command over the door as you do. But yeah, here's your body back. And you kind of will take off their mask.
Oh, hold on, actually.
Oh,
You're going to have to roll for that. But also, before we do that, I have a couple of follow-up questions. One, what is Akachi doing right now? How does Akachi feel about this?
Akachi right now is in that golden space within the mask. It's that almost gold lake, gold sky, gold trees, though they are sparse. And Akachi's laid down, floating on this golden ocean, looking up, unable to move, but able to hear. As Ikan has been speaking, they've been hearing it, unable to respond in a way that you kind of can hear, but they've been listening. I think they're fine with this. They put on the mask for this exact purpose, for Ikenna to answer these questions and this journal seems to answer the questions. There is a level of, I think, perfectly natural uncomfortableness of someone else driving your body. Even if you give them consent, I think there's a level of this is weird and uncomfortable that will come with it regardless.
Yeah, that's kind of
there is
more.
that.
Yeah, let's dig a little deeper there. What does it feel like, do we think, for Catsi? Like, what would this... Because my first thought is like, oh, is this like a dissociative thing? Or is it more like, is she still feeling what you're doing when you're touching things and doorknobs and all that?
No, I think best way you can describe it is, have you ever gone to somewhere truly quiet and then realized how much noise has been around you the entire time? I think they no longer feel their body and they realize how heavy their body is.
Wow.
Now that it's gone.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was immediately thinking like, oh, going out in nature and taking a look at the stars versus being, in the city where there's just a lot of noise, or even, and this is an example that I'm not given because I'm, not technologically whatever, but when your power goes out now today and you're just like, holy, it's so quiet.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's similar to that, but rather than like audio is physical. Like their zero was having a body, and then now they don't. They realize there's actually something lower, lighter than that. It's just like your zero having power is like this electric buzz that becomes your neutral, and then when the power goes out, you realize there's actually something quieter than what you've been experiencing.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. And Akachi's really okay with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Catsi was the one that was like, let's put this mask on. It kind of might have answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I follow up with another question that you don't have to answer?
Okay.
Is it out of guilt?
I won't answer that.
Okay. Now, I think you were taking the mask off, right? Let's make a role, please.
Is that from Ikenna or Catsi?
Catsi, actually.
This would be my magic roll?
Yes, please.
The mind?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, that's a 17. So as this happens then, Akachi's gonna feel a little bit of a rush of like, maybe she just did 10 burpees is what it feels like, of just kind of like that rush of energy. Also muscle exhaustion. You can kind of like feel like she ran a mile or, but it wasn't her that did it. So it feels a little bit of that, but you actually feel pretty great. Do you have any burn right now?
Yeah, I have a lot of burn. I have 8 burn right now.
8, okay. Relieve 1. Now you're back down to 7.
Oh. Okay. You're so tense when you're using my body. They kind of tie the mask to their belt loop. I think they take a seat again. And they'll look down at this book in their hand, this journal. We still need to talk, and explain the whole grandma's still alive thing. And everyone's still mourning you. Do I just keep this a secret that you're still here? Or do I tell them? And if I did, would they believe me? Or would it be dangerous? I don't fucking know. Maybe we need to talk later. And I mean it this time. they'll take the book and begin. Actually, I have a question.
Mhm.
I just realized.
I'm here. Ask away.
So this is a cookbook,
Yeah.
and Ikenna has admitted that they had already kind of suffered the drawbacks or the punishment for taking someone else's cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
Would this still be applicable for Catsi now that they're holding this?
Yeah. So I think I want to ask you what the cookbook looks like, and then we're going to roll to see how powerful this cookbook is. I have a minimum. So I think based on improv and the nature of the way the story's gone, it should be of at least a certain power level. But it has the potential to be over 9,000 if you roll well enough. So let's go ahead. And that was a pop culture reference that I'm going to regret later. But why don't you go ahead and make a roll for me? This can be let's just do flat. Flat.
Okay.
D100 here.
The idea of Ikenna rolling the flat D100. I'll do that. 20.
20. Wow. Okay. Okay. What does this look like? You described it as looking old, but I mean...
Yeah. It's an old, weathered journal. It doesn't look fancy. It doesn't look anywhere near like grimoire-esque as, say, Harry's new book. It looks almost like something you'd find in a museum, like from an ancient time. The only thing that's overtly magical from just looking at it is that it's covered in scratch marks and claw marks and just the aging of weathered material. But when the light hits at different angles, different claw marks kind of reflect the light off to show that they're actually a sigil of some kind.
Interesting.
Overlapping each other.
Okay. Does that mean it's made out of something that's not like the paper that we would recognize?
I think it looks like paper, but if someone was to age it, it is too old for it to be paper and still exist and not be just ash.
And falling apart. Yeah, okay. That's very interesting. I like that a lot. Okay. All right, let's have Catsi actually now roll to see what this does to them. So this one would be mind, your magic stat as well, or body if you want to do a physical response to it. Up to you.
I think it'll be mind. I don't even think a Catsi is aware enough to use body to be like, this is going to be bad, let me brace myself. I think this is all very subconscious.
Yeah, fair.
Otherworldly success. 33.
Oh my God, it's my number as well. Okay. I want you to describe what happens as the book recognizes Catsi as the new owner.
New owner?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Okay, yeah, I know what this looks like, I guess. As Catsi kind of thumbs the cover of this book, very suddenly, both Catsi and Ikenna, even in the space Ikenna currently is now in the mask, they feel a sudden pulse come from the book. Catsi's body drops to the ground as Ikenna and Catsi's spirits are knocked out of the mask and the body as they kind of float in midair, and Catsi looks down at their body on the ground, just slumped. It's not breathing, it's not moving, it's just on the ground. The mask to their side, and they look to their side to see Ikenna floating in space with them. And in this almost astral plane, in this astral space, you see the tether, a kind of frayed tether, but tether nonetheless that was connecting the book to Ikenna, begin to slowly dissipate from Ikenna's end down to the book. And at the same time, a tether began to form from the book to Catsi. And Ikenna looks surprised, and then when they see this happening, a little bit obviously jealous, as this new tether that's being formed is far more not corporeal, because they're definitely incorporeal right now, but far more solid and strong than the one that was connecting him initially. as it connects to the chest of of a Catsi, before very suddenly there's a pulse again from the opposite direction, as if knocking them back, and a Catsi and Ikena fall back into their mask and body. And the Catsi takes in a deep breath. Oh. Hate magic. They roll onto their back and just lay there for a while. Oh,
What
not even what just happened.
what secret do you think Akachi learns in this moment from the book? It can be anything you want.
I think they hear a very familiar laughter, a genuine boisterous laughter that they haven't heard in 8 years. I think they hear the laughter of their grandmother.
Yeah.
And I think in this moment they know that that laughter is happening at this very moment,
Right now, somewhere.
wherever she is now.
What dark truth do you think Akachi learns in this moment about the future of the D.U.M office and y'all?
I think the way I learned this is that this vision, this sound of laughter continues, and then I just hear my grandmother's voice as she tells me a almost cryptic prophecy. And I think what I get from it is that words have power, that Harry ones should be careful which ones they use.
Love that. And as we see Akachi there catching their breath, we're going to switch scenes. Gus, where are you?
I have just arrived back in my apartment.
Ooh, what does it look like?
It's not the first time that we've taken a window into this apartment. Previously, it was described by, certain souls as a serial killer's apartment, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the terminology used, yeah.
It was the serial killer kitchen, I think. And
Yeah.
I've been actually wondering ever since that moment, what does a serial killer's kitchen look like? What made it the fact that it was a serial killer? Was it all the photographs, you think?
At this moment, as there is, a missing light bulb from the ceiling, and there is the remains of a horrifically melted tub of ice cream.
That's right. That's
lying
right.
on the counter.
Ooh, I think there's probably mold.
It's probably not great.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much time has passed here in context. Otherwise, it either happened yesterday or it happened God knows how long ago at this point. But it is definitely the Polaroids stuck all over the apartment as if they are Post-it notes, as if they are individual reminders.
And some of them were on string, right? You have like a full red thread going on in your apartment.
There's a couple of different corkboards pinned and hung up on different spaces that all seem to be different webs of
Interesting. We gotta up our game. We've only got the one murder board.
But there's a couple where threads have been strung between different corkboards.
So you have
as if
to like
imply
duck
that
when you're going into the apartment. You gotta like duck down.
It's not quite on that level where you need to call like a Hollywood detective to come in with a gun, but
Right.
it's definitely this person. it's something that would send a warning message to the audience saying, I think this person has been alone for too long.
And I don't know what's gotten into me because I never do this, but I'm about to make another pop culture reference. It's like when they walk into that guy's apartment in Seven in the movie.
Yeah,
that where you're just like you just know there's nothing crazy about it, visually, but you just knew, oh, there's something terribly wrong about whatever's happening in here.
If the rest of the apartment was a complete mess and everything was scattered everywhere, it would be maybe less alarming, but
because
this is controlled mess, chaos everywhere, and everything else is really neat and really tidy and really well taken care of.
I've controlled mess. I know where everything is, but it's a mess.
But other than that, it's like a sort of mid-tier 2-bedroom apartment. It's sort of what you would expect from, someone making half decent money in the 90s. There's probably a little bit too much carpet for some people's taste. But yeah, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. You've got old lamps and relatively, warm light bulbs in the space. It's it could be cozy. It just feels like empty at the moment, even in spite of how much is active on the walls.
And what does it feel like coming back? What does it feel like to be in the apartment again?
I take a heavy breath as I come in, and it's sort of like I'm putting weights on that I typically leave behind here whenever I go out. And I wander over to our answering machine, which has a missed message blinking on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I rub the back of my neck. I'm going to press play on this message, but it's my own voice that comes out of the answering machine.
Hey, Max. I know it's been a while. I was thinking about you today. Not to imply I ever stopped thinking about you, but I heard your name out of someone else's mouth today. I think it was today, anyway, and it reminded me that I haven't said it out loud for a while, so I'm checking in. I'm doing better. And worse, and somehow still exactly the same as when you left me, but I've learned a lot about who I am and what I'm not. I've lost some pieces of myself I don't think I'll get back, and I've got some scars I really don't know how to wear, to be honest, but I made some friends. Colleagues. Friends. You'd like them, actually. And they'd like you. A lot more than they'd like me, anyway. That's for sure. Sorry, I know I promised not to talk like that in front of you, but it's hard when you're not actually here in front of me. Your face is really blurry these days. Like, if it's not on this photo in front of me, I swear to God I'd forget what it looks like. And I don't want to let that happen, so I'm gonna do better. I won't let your name become a stranger again. I promise.
And as the message ends, I take out the Polaroid of myself and Max, and I put a little tally mark on the back, which is at about 18 at the moment, which corresponds with the number of missed messages I have on this answering machine. And then I head into my office, which seems to be a different sort of controlled chaos. It's not photos plastered across the wall. Instead, it's neatly arranged photo albums stacked up on the desk. But I am searching for something in particular, which is a phone number that I know is somewhere in this desk.
Do you think, so first of all, there is a strange sensation, magical sensation when you're in this place, your apartment. You recognize a oppressiveness that maybe used to be there from another visitor that is not there because we know you left that person behind. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not whatever other feelings that you have being in this apartment again. But that magical feeling, I feel like you would know. You would recognize that and go, that's interesting. This place feels a little bit different. What number are you looking for?
When you said a place feels different, and it feels like someone else has been here?
No, it's more that you would recognize maybe an oppressive feeling is no longer there because your friend that's been following you is left it. You trapped him in the office before he left.
Oh, I see.
So now you enter the apartment and you go, well, this feels weird. And I just think that you would know at some point during your stay here, that must be why. That feeling of presence pressing down, watching you all the time, maybe isn't here. But the other feelings, obviously, of being in the apartment are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I have an understanding then that me erasing my footsteps when I left the office actually worked. In a sense.
Yep.
The ritual of it actually functioned.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And what number are you looking for?
I'm looking for an old cell number, actually.
Okay.
That belongs to a coworker of mine, because I don't want to call them on the actual like company line, basically.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I know they gave me their personal number at some point.
Okay. And this is like a Nokia, right?
Yeah. This would be a.
Oh, I love this. Okay. I'm not going to have you roll to find a phone number. I'm sure you find it. But how long does it take you to find it? I think that tells us more about you than having you roll for it.
Probably just a couple of minutes where it's like, I know it was in this drawer. I know it was under this thing.
And then you're trying to trigger definitely your visual memory to, okay. So it takes you a couple minutes.
Unstacking a couple things to find it. But
what's it written on?
I seem to be able to. Oh, it's written on like a stained like napkin, like a diner napkin, and it's not in my handwriting. It was like given to me by someone else, and it's clearly written by someone with a very like a jagged, urgent kind of written number, I suppose. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to the phone and I'm gonna dial this number from my landline to my coworker Mackenzie, who I hope will answer this phone.
Okay, this is just for my own sake. What kind of phone do we think it is? Is it like one of those, old 90s, like plastic? You open it and it's kind of slender, or does Gus have like one of those crazy? Phone? No, like you have a landline, I assume, right? That you're picking up. Yeah. Is it like one of those hamburger phones? Like, what would Gus have in the house?
It would be, it'd be very, it'd be utilitarian, but a picture in like there's like a fluorescent color for some reason.
The
receiver is like the receiver is neon pink for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But something in your heart of hearts tells you that Gus did not choose this.
Yeah.
It's just the phone that was here.
Is it one of those chonky like antenna cordless ones where you could walk around the apartment with it, or did it have a cord?
It has a cord for sure.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
It's a corded phone.
Very interested in the visual. You're painting the picture for me. Okay. And you dial this number.
Mm-hmm.
Do they answer?
I don't know. Should we roll to find out?
Yeah.
If they answer,
I mean, it's up to you. I don't really know who it is exactly you're calling. But yeah, well, I think they can answer if you want them to. But we can also leave it up to chaos.
I'd love for them to answer.
Okay. Then they answer. What are they like?
So you are Mackenzie. You are a person that wears just like supremely thick Coke bottle glasses. You have a ponytail that is pulled back like incredibly tight. You don't have there's not a single hair falling on your face, but your hair is quite long. It's just like tied and like pulled all the way back as extremely as possible.
Okay.
And
am I neat?
You're excessively neat. You're the neatest person ever, and you work in forensics. And a part of you kind of hate mess so much, which makes everyone wonder why you work in this profession.
Right.
Because you deal with blood and guts so often.
Okay, got it. All
and
right.
you're my blood guy.
I'm your blood guy. Got it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Mac, what's going on?
Where have you been?
It has been a very long story. And actually, how long has it been, indeed, would you say?
Now you got
Guesstimate-wise.
Now you got to roll, because this is fun. Just do, just do 1d30. See if you've been gone a month. 25 days.
Okay,
Holy
25
shit.
days.
I feel like I would know exactly how many weeks that is. Is that 3 weeks? I feel like Mackenzie, the character would know, but I can't math.
Yeah,
that's 3 weeks.
That's almost 4 weeks, yeah.
I don't think that's good enough for the way you described Mackenzie. So let's say 3 weeks.
It's 3
and
weeks
5
and 4
days.
days.
Oh, I was close. Okay, 3 weeks and 5 days. Are you wanted by
4
the law?
days.
What's happening here?
I'm not wanted by the law.
Okay.
No, I'm.
Are you on? So
no.
you're not on the run. I had so many theories about what was happening with you. You're not on the run. Did you quit your job? What's going on? You didn't give notice.
I didn't quit. I'm on a sabbatical. It's completely fine.
Does the
Everything's
boss know
all
you're on
good.
sabbatical? Because I don't think anyone knows where you are.
I left a post-it note, probably.
You left the boss a post-it note for going on sabbatical? That's not how that works, Gus.
It's probably not how that works. Would you believe that I didn't think it had been 25 days? Would that soften the blow at all?
Okay, so we're in crisis. Okay, where are you? I can come and pick you up.
We're not. No, I'm good. I'm good. Well, actually, I do need to see you. I have a favor. I was hoping that you could chase up for me, maybe.
A favor to chase up. Okay, you're working on a case. You're working undercover. You're working for the FBI. Are you working for the FBI? Gus, are you working for the FBI? CIA?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my God. Okay. Does this mean that I am tangentially working for the FBI or the CIA? Will you put in a good word for me? Because
you
it would be
the better.
Oh
the
my
less
God.
You know, the better.
Okay,
it's one of those
real.
situations.
Oh, it's one of these
Yeah.
situations. I have waited my whole life for this situation. I'm so ready. Put in the good word for me, please, because I think I was born to work at the FBI/the CIA. And if they're listening to this call, it is whichever one is listening to call that I prefer more.
Okay, well, it's important to manifest what you want, but again, we're gonna act like I didn't say any of that. Okay,
Right, of
going
course
forward,
not.
and we're just gonna keep it under wraps.
What do you need?
I need a tox screen.
Are you on a
and
landline?
I am on a landline.
Okay, perfect. You need a talk screen.
Yes, I need a tox screen.
Okay.
On a blood sample.
Okay.
And I ideally need it done in a way that doesn't fall into the normal pathology books. Okay.
And when you say that, you mean just not on record, or do you mean you want me to actually do something? Like, are we dealing with aliens? Like, do I have to do something different than my normal process?
What would you do differently if it was aliens, out of curiosity?
I don't know. Well, you said to do it something differently. I'm just wondering, do you want me to do something different with the process? Like, am I not supposed to use a certain chemical? Am I supposed to use a different chemical? These are questions I need answered.
Okay, so the perception is that this is a blood sample from someone who had a toxin in their system. So I'm trying to identify the toxin.
Okay.
Yes, it's from a person.
But the toxin could be alien in nature.
It could be undocumented in nature. So if
you were really quiet there for a second, Gus. Are aliens real?
No, aliens are not. I can neither confirm nor deny whether aliens are real.
Aliens are real. Okay, I knew it.
So I need you to do a tox screen, there's no supreme rush on the lab work. I don't know when I will be back necessarily, but I do need some.
What do you mean you don't know when you'll be back? Where even are you? You're calling me from your... Hold on. Fact check me. Did caller ID exist back then for cell phones?
You could pay for caller ID.
I feel like I'm anal enough that I pay for caller ID.
*69.
You're calling me from your house. What do you mean you don't know when you'll be back?
I mean that my current job...
With the CIA/FBI.
We don't say those words, do we?
Right,
we don't say those things.
With the dream job. The dream job.
With the 3-letter agency that I work with.
So it is the FBI or the CIA. Okay.
But we don't do that.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Okay?
Okay, we don't talk about it, right?
With the 3-letter group that I work with, they need me for extended stretches of time, and I don't always fully know exactly what my hours are going to be. They're pretty open-ended hours, if I'm being honest. So I will be back when I can. But when I can might be tomorrow, and that's obviously too soon. I want to give you at least 72 hours to work this up.
I mean, if they're listening, I will just go. I'll go do it right now. Where do I wait? How do I get the sample? Where did you leave it? Are we doing a drop off? What are those called? You know, where you leave it somewhere and then dead drop. Exactly. I knew you knew exactly what it would be called because you're working for you're working for them, and that's fantastic. So do I need to go to a park bench and like, is it going to be under a bench? What's happening here? I don't want to touch under a bench. Can you not leave it under a bench? Do you know how many people touch benches?
I was just going to meet you for coffee and hand it to you, but if you think that that's more secure, then we can do a park bench, Mac.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do a park bench. They're dirty. Yeah, I'll meet you for coffee.
Okay, great.
I'd love to see you also.
I'd like to see you too. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
You know, maybe when I see you, actually.
Okay, all right. Are you free tonight? When are you free?
I'm free right now. Are you kidding me? Are they listening?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll meet you there.
Okay, which one? Where?
The usual.
One, okay. And I hang up without saying goodbye. I feel like I'm not the type of person to say goodbye, but I don't know. Yeah, are they listening? Yeah, and I hang up. What do you do now?
Am I a bad person?
That was incredible, by the way. Incredible. Would you like to do something else, or would you like to be at the cafe?
I'd like to be at the cafe.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, what is this regular cafe? Let me put my glasses back on. What is this regular cafe like?
It's a pretty clean place. It's somewhat new.
It would have to be,
new for
right?
the 90s.
Or I'm not
yeah.
Be there, right?
It's got a lot of like sort of weird like hanging light fixture style sculpture things, you know, where it's kind of like it seems like it's like free association woodwork with like lights strung between, and there's fairy lights everywhere. It's very like warm atmosphere.
Okay, I definitely am getting the vibe here. Okay, I like that.
But yeah,
I think I'm already here. And I think that I have already ordered my usual. I think I've also already ordered your usual, and it's sitting in the seat. And I think I am fidgeting, which I don't think I normally do. Would you say that is accurate? I'm not normally a, fidgeter.
Yeah. I think only when you're out of your element, and normally you don't leave your element. So
yeah. Or I think maybe if I'm thinking about something pretty heavily, or talking to you about work and I'm really into it, I do this thing where I tap my thumb against my middle finger towards the end of it. And so you see that I'm doing that right now. So I'm maybe lost in thought or anxious or waiting for you to arrive when you get there.
Yeah.
Oh, Gus, you're here.
Hey, I am.
Do they have a device on you? Can you talk freely?
I can speak completely freely.
Okay. Are you looking for him? Is that the job?
Right this second. No, I mean, it's the bigger job, but it's not the one I'm doing right now.
Job.
This is.
So you were right.
Yeah, I was right.
Okay. Okay. That's a big deal. Sorry.
It's a big deal.
That's good news, right?
In a manner of speaking, yeah. I think closure is better than.
Well, missing is better than dead.
Yeah, in some definitions, absolutely.
Okay. You're being so cagey, like way more than normal. What? I mean, I know that you work for, I know who you work for. Possibly one of them. But you're being really cagey. Can you tell me anything at all?
I'm kind of doing what I did previously, which was, investigate crime scenes, typically after things have happened. And I report to superiors and I log information in a database. It's pretty similar, and the pay is, well, it's there when you need it. So, I'm doing good. I'm fine. You can call off the search party if there was one.
There sort of kind of was one, but weirdly, the chief was like, on it. Didn't want to talk about it. Refused to discuss. I think he was pretty upset that you just left without saying anything. That's all we knew. That you were just gone and you weren't coming to work and yeah.
So you don't think there is a desk for me waiting when I get back? Is that what you're saying? Or
I don't think so, unless you call the boss, maybe. I mean, nobody's taken your desk.
Okay. Well, maybe I will call the boss.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe.
Or don't, because what you're doing right now seems pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to work for the CIA, and I lean into your jacket as if you're wearing a wire. Or FBI. But this is starting to feel more like CIA, if I'm honest.
Well, and then I'm gonna put a VHS cover of The Thing on the table.
Oh my God!
So John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'm like, okay, you already know what's inside there.
It's an alien.
I'm just return.
Oh,
it's not an alien.
This is not a message.
It's not an alien.
Okay.
It's not an alien.
Okay.
But it's blood related. That's the only thing.
Show me your eyes. And then I cannot help it, but I definitely grab a compact anything to just do reflection in your eyeballs to see if I can see if there's and I do, right? I see the reflection in your eyeballs. Okay, all right. I just wasn't sure if that was like some sort of message that you were sending me to tell me that I needed to check you. Okay, got it.
That I was telling you that I was body snatched?
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Why would, if I was body snatched, why would I tell you that I was body snatched?
I don't know.
I need a full lab workup and tox screen.
Got it.
On the sample.
On this
in that case.
Okay. What else can you tell me? And then I think you saying I need to talk on the sample triggers work mode, and I kind of calm down a little bit and focus. Okay, well, what can you tell me about the human body?
There was some kind of unknown toxin or pathogen introduced through an injection method that doesn't leave contact marks on the skin, not visible ones, anyway. So we're trying to determine, well, cause of death isn't as important as the means by which that death was brought about. So if you can find any traces whatsoever, it might not be an easily recognizable compound by any means, but just any traces, anything that can point me in the right direction.
And as you're saying this, I pull a notepad out of my breast pocket in my jacket and I begin to, I'm taking notes. But I'm not looking down at the pad as I'm writing. I'm keeping eye contact with you, or looking at you as I write, which is usual, I think. And then I say, age?
At least in his 40s, but lived very clean, could seem younger.
Okay. Smoker?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Anything else I should know about?
Actually, no. Was a smoker.
Yes. Okay.
This is Flick trying to remember. I think there was ashtrays involved and cigarettes and whatnot in that era.
Okay.
Yes, smoker.
Yes. Okay. Anything else I need to know? You said you wanted me to, for it to be unusual. Do you just want it off the books, or am I going to have to think outside the box here?
Well, if you put it into the normal pathology rotation, someone's going to ask where this blood sample came from. So if you can find a way to run it without it being, picked up by every single person in the office, that's sort of what I'm after.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. And they don't have people at the CIA that will do this for you? Why are you coming to me?
Because you're the best.
Oh. I think that works immediately. I'm not even going to roll for that. That ego hit. Of course I am the best. And that is why... Oh! It would have been a test. If you had been body snatched, the CIA would have sent the thing to warn me that you might be body snatched. You wouldn't even know that you were sending me because you're body snatched. How would you know about the thing? But it would be a test for me.
It would mean the world to me if we didn't talk about body snatching. Just for the time being.
Right.
Not that... We just move on from body snatching, okay? All right? This is me, your friend.
Yep. Okay.
Gus Holloway,
Yep.
giving you
Yeah.
Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Sample.
Got it.
You
Got it.
analyze. You
Yeah.
do your job.
Yeah. Yes, I can do that. I will do my job.
Okay.
Above and beyond.
And I'll come and meet you
Yeah.
later in the week.
Yeah.
Ideally within the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
And you have results for me. If
Yeah.
it's going to take longer, that's okay. I'll show up when you're done.
That is so awesome. Okay. Just don't break into my house.
I'm not going to break into your house
Okay.
unless I do and it happens.
Okay. Can you take your shoes off, please?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just realized I shouldn't make promises I can't keep because that might
Yeah.
happen. I
Yeah.
have to be honest.
I think I stand up and I pick up my mug, my coffee to go, and then I turn to you and I don't know, this is my instinct for Gus. Are you good? And I say to you, are you going to have that or do I need to put that away?
I'll have this.
Okay.
This would mean a lot to me right now.
Great.
I'm going to take 5 minutes
know-
of normalcy in this cafe before I go back to whatever the hell I was doing.
Okay, do you want me to sit here with you or do you want to be alone?
Why don't we catch up properly next time?
Yeah,
and
okay.
we can chat live. I'm still in work mode right now.
Yeah, I get that. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're not dead and I'm glad you didn't do something stupid.
I'm glad too, and it's good to see you. And it's good to see that some things don't change.
I got it without milk. Okay, bye. And then I will walk out. Leaving you alone in the cafe.
Okay. All right. I think I just sit here for 5 minutes in normalcy, like
Yep.
just
And
just
actually
like the,
enjoy the coffee and not have
just the
anything
glimpse
crazy
of
magical. Yep.
the brief glimpse of a normal life.
All right.
May I recover burn from drinking this coffee?
You may.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Eating and drinking.
Incredible.
Recover 1 burn. Okay, we are going to switch scenes then. Back in the office with Jim and Harry, I believe. Are you both there?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Don't know why I would have gone anywhere else. Not like I'd go back to my apartment. That's
Yeah, well, you never know what's
Well,
happening in the office.
I probably sat down and had some coffee after the book incident.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now? The book incident?
What would you like to call it?
I have no idea. It just feels like that ain't, oomph enough for almost murder or almost possession of a non-dumb agent. Feels pretty
But it didn't
dumb.
happen, so it could be an
Yeah,
incident.
it's true.
If it,
That's true.
you know,
A
more
close
unknowns
call.
than
How about a
yeah,
close call?
The book, the
book-
close call with
The book.
of the novel kind.
Yeah. What are you doing, Harry?
Honestly, I think I'm flipping through the book at this point, sipping my
Lee.
coffee.
All right. And what about you, Jim? What are you doing?
Just waking up from a nap.
All right. And where am I? Am I here? Or do you guys think you're alone?
You might have been in your office, maybe with the door open.
Yeah. I don't usually
I
close the
imagine
door.
you'd probably not want to keep taking an eye off me after
Yeah.
I've been messing around with this book. Maybe you have. Maybe you trust me. I don't know.
I think I wouldn't mind taking my eyes off of you with the book because it's not really necessarily about trust, but it's more like what's going to happen is going to happen. So I'm kind of,
Fair enough.
but yeah, I might be working on something in my office, but the door is open. So just holler if you need me.
Yeah. After I do a clarification though. After I've worked with this book now, made a particular arrangement. I believe you had said that I'm able to kind of flip through without any issue now.
Yeah.
It is my cookbook.
Yeah, that's right.
Now those 2 tarot cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
Has anything happened to them since this? Because that was more of an after effect of me messing with book that I shouldn't quite have.
Oh, that's very interesting. Why don't you go ahead and make me a roll? It'll be your luck.
All right. Is it based on chance then?
It's not pure chance, which is what your ability I think you're about to say is.
That was what I was curious on.
Yeah, uh-huh.
All right then. 56.
Or I'm thinking. I think, because 56 is just over your mark of 40, not by, not by a lot or anything. So I'm thinking
right.
I think you cannot find the cards. They're not in there right now. And you think the book was levitating, the pages were flipping open, maybe the cards flew out in the office somewhere, but they're not here at the moment.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. So you're flipping through this, and then Jim is slowly waking up from a nap, falling asleep on his desk.
How long has it been since the incident, the event?
I feel like maybe at least a couple hours. Yeah.
I was curious on how long a nap that would have been.
Oh,
for Jim.
sorry. Well, then let me ask Jim. How long were you napping, Jim?
I think it would have been a nice 2-hour-long nap.
Okay.
It's one of those where you have those super vivid dreams.
Yeah. 2 hours, 10 minutes to be exact. All right. So he's waking up. It's been that long.
Morning, Jim, or afternoon, or evening, whenever it is.
Gordon, how long, how long was I out?
I look up at the clock and looks about 2 hours. 2 hours, give or take.
That feels about right.
Feel better? Rested?
I don't know about that. Just had a very strange dream.
Oh? Well, what about?
It's a lot to get into. It's all right. Just a reoccurring dream, but had a different ending this time.
Oh, I was gonna say reoccurring. That usually means something. And then if it was different, that means something else normally. I mean, at this point, I kind of just believe things with only a grain of salt now. Used to be a salt lick, so probably significant. We're not going to talk about it. That's up to you. Just more note, maybe focus on a little more than before.
That's all right. You don't have to talk about it. Just let that one stew for a while. You know, I never really looked too far into dreams, but recently that one, it's just been a reoccurring one, and have been journaling it, but the way it ended this time feels, yeah, definitely want to pick back up on that. It's just something for me. So, anyways, hey, getting along with that book?
Well, it ain't killed me yet, so by my recollections, pretty well. I can flip through it without having to feel like I'm getting a migraine or, my soul sucked out. That's always nice.
It's always good. Pretty well acquainted with it now.
I think so. There's a whole hell of a lot of spells in here that I can't make heads or tails of. Only a couple I can actually read. The rest of them kind of... You ever see those, remember those oh no, you wouldn't know what that is. Ugh. It basically, I look at it and almost looks like words, but it kind of blends into gibberish. You know those cryptexes? That you might know. Like they were in the old, private eye, like shows or radio shows or maybe even comics or something. Like a lot of time they're a tube and you'd twist them and You'd find them in cereal boxes.
Ciphers.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what you'd call them then. Yeah, you know how before you solve it, it kind of looks all fucky? That's kind of what the words in this look like.
Language.
Oh, apologies.
Sure, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Kind of like that. Perhaps I haven't, what's some of those words they use? Attuned to it well enough. I don't know.
You get familiar with it the longer you stick around.
Yeah, more.
I had a similar thing when I was, when I was in Germany. The words didn't really make too much sense, but, it was the English lettering.
Oh, the
arranged in a very different way. We slowly, as we'd been over there, even though it had only been months, slowly understood, a little bit of the language. Just being around it. Just having the exposure.
Immersion. What was it? Learning by immersion. Exposure. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's why I want to, take study a couple hours a day of a hobby, and you'll be master by the end of the year, something like that.
Sure. It's at this moment that I actually want to, this is Jim observing Harry, notice that there was a physical change before. Is that still present? Is there something just different?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
And where is it particularly that there is a difference? Is it like shadows under the eyes, veins?
Mm-hmm. Harry, what do you think? Because I can come in and give you something, but I know how your brain works.
Oddly enough, I think it might be, maybe not near as much the face, but the nails.
Oh, my God, I was thinking that it almost looks like you have permanent dirt under your nails.
Yeah, that or like the grade.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I fully was thinking that as well. So it's actually kind of scary
that we all thought that. That's horrifying. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe not dirt so much as almost grayed out a little bit, but maybe a hint of like what reverse French manicure.
Yeah,
okay.
something
Would
like
it be
that.
kind of like when your hands get pruned, from like being in the water, it just kind of gets all pale and kind of wrinkly.
Yeah, almost. It's they don't have the full color to them like they normally would. Instead of that pinkish, it's kind of like, they've grayed out a little bit, little color, maybe a little bit of dirt. Almost looks like it. Not gross, grimy, but like you'd worked in the garden and you'd washed your hands a few times, but there's that little bit left.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Dirt is important, I think, for the type of magic that you've kind of been married to. So yeah, okay, fantastic.
All right. Yeah, I think I actually get a little lost. Like I notice this small detail. I kind of stare off for a little bit.
I probably don't notice. I think I've gone back to reading.
So, notice that, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
What?
Nothing. It's just you have a little, dirt under your nails.
Oh. I don't suppose they have one of them little brushes for the nails in the bathroom. Well, maybe they would if I go in there.
Yeah.
Not that big a deal.
Interesting. Well, anyways, we should probably take a little time before we get back to our case. Maybe we can pick it up whenever you want, but what were your feelings about that case that we were just working on? Any ideas?
We didn't even really get to do anything with it, frankly. We kind of almost did something, and then there was Mark, which I doubt that's their real name. They figured out the alias thing quicker than anybody else, I think. They're far more capable than they let on. I don't think they realize how capable they are, frankly. I thought they were just some tinfoil hat nut job, but they kept doing things right.
Do you think that he's deceiving us?
Oh, I think so. I have a feeling they themselves are Moto Tweed. The way they snapped so damn fast when I mentioned that. Maybe they aren't, but them trying to set up that meeting, no one was in there. No one was waiting for us quite yet when they had responded so damn fast. Like, I know that they had posted under a different name, but that's all anonymous. You could just set the name. You could easily do that yourself in that forum. Respond to yourself, talk to yourself. There's a website, and more recently there used to be some. They were in ornithological. They were bird scientists. They ended up being very knowledgeable in these forums, but they kept talking to themselves, and they would make it so they were more seen, and eventually they got banned from the whole site because of this thing. It was very recently. Well, my wins, but don't matter. Anyway, they were talking to themselves to make themselves get noticed more. I could see that being something similar.
This is something I'm familiar with. In the papers, we've actually uncovered scandals about people writing to themselves as well, setting up straw man arguments. And
yes,
this is a tactic that has been used for centuries, actually. So, it'd be the first time I've heard of this.
Yeah.
And it'd be people who do these sorts of things are very manipulative, very...
Right. Even if the intention is good, like this person, their knowledge was factual and correct. It's just there must have been an ego thing tied to it. They needed to be seen, so they boosted themselves effectively. I could see that being something with this mark. They definitely seem to want to have the conspiracies, the thoughts confirmed.
Oh, yeah. I know sometimes it's for the validation. They just want the validation of their peers. And if somebody's speaking well of them, then there is a chance there'll be a snowball effect and others will speak well as well. Mm-hmm. The only issue is the case of Mark. I don't feel like he really has that much of a reputation that he wants to, be perceived well. I mean, if you look at the man, he doesn't really live a life seeking attention or accreditation in a way.
No, but at the same time, the moment we started confirming, at least in their mind, their theories, you saw how he lit up so fast. It's the mindset of you've always been told you're wrong, and then you get that one person that goes, "No, you've been right the whole time."
I get that. Yeah.
It's the it's an internal validation, maybe not an external like that, but internal. They crave it. So I could see. Then that's hence the talking to yourself effectively, boosting yourself so you can be seen, and someone else might go, "I've experienced that." Yes, you're right. I'm not sure this is correct, mind you, but there's something off with it. Whether or not they're different people. It's the fact that they just so happen to be in the same town on this big forum all over the place. Everything seemed way too convenient. And we were just gonna happen to meet up with this person, and the moment he posted, within minutes, they responded back. I don't know. There ain't no way to the private message. They were trying to figure that out. They thought there were. There wasn't. This was an open forum. How'd that person find out so quickly? Did they just live on it? I don't know.
Kismet. The answer is Kismet. Sorry. Can't help it over here. Your conversation.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is Kismet coincidence, or it was bound to happen? Or is it a mixture of both?
I think it's a mixture of both. Be careful with that other C word. I think... I don't want to discourage you from thinking the way you're thinking, Harry, because I think obviously the way that you think, there's a reason why you're here in the office. However, having done this a while, it is very, very, very common to have things line up just the way that you need them to solve the thing that you're working on. So, I mean, it sounds to me like it's a little bit of that Kismet, but I don't know.
Kismet for him to be here. I'm more speaking the case that we were looking into.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I've worked cases where it's like, I have no lead, I have no direction, and then I bump into somebody and the name of their horse is the name of the person I'm looking for. Or then we start to talking and then they mention, oh, sorry, I have to go meet this other person. And I'm like, that's actually who I'm looking for. What are the odds of that? That kind of situation.
Yeah.
I see.
I suppose there was a flaw in my thought here is that he didn't, at least he claimed he had no idea the story we were talking about, the case itself. And I feel like with all the information he was very willing to impart, he would have likely been very interested in our knowledge on that. So I say this now, and now I'm already kind of retracting the way I was thinking. But
I mean, it's good to think like that. That's how cases get solved. And also, he seemed pretty capable, weirdly. I mean, you said he didn't really know what he was doing, but I mean, he was following an instinct that exists. So I don't know. Maybe
there's a case of idiot savant that we aren't really addressing, because he does strike me as the kind of person who is unaware that they're succeeding in a way that is
a very severe natural talent.
Yeah, natural talent. So, I mean, it could be that it isn't deceptive at all. He just happens to be naturally good at this.
Yeah, like maybe in a few years or in another life, he would be a dumb agent.
Certainly.
Or tomorrow, because of how time is.
Yeah.
That could be a few years for him. Who knows?
Maybe he's already an agent. That's a fun game to think about.
Could be. I mean, maybe he just brings a completely different perspective that we just don't understand. Yeah. His way of thinking can be correct just from a different viewpoint. Although, be a bit unorthodox, I suppose.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Did he say he had a jelly guy?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means, and I don't know if I want to.
The only jelly guy I know is Schmuckers.
They're still around. That's
good.
Yeah. Okay, Priscilla. There are far better brands out there now, but too much added sugars.
We usually just make our own. Well, we did make our own, but I digress. So, whenever we want to pick back up on this case, I'm ready. However much time you need. I'm in no rush, and I feel like the way that this door works, whatever winds that we need to be, we'll just happen to be there. But
true,
we can keep our eye on him if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we could try to see if we're able to meet up with that Moto Tweed man. Might be waiting there still for us, even if Mark isn't.
We always happen to be where we should be, well, most of the time, depending upon, how we think before we open the door. And if we're looking for Moto Tweed, we run into Mark again. Doesn't necessarily mean he is Moto Tweed, but could be an avenue to find him. Just keep that in mind.
True. But we do have a meeting point already set up, so I guess if we get there and then Mark's the only one there, then we know. And if they're not, then my original theory, which I kind of already debunked, is confirmed debunked. I mean, ain't no reason to not go through that door and see. Though it'd be good to leave a note for Catsi and Gus.
Yeah, I think we're fine to operate just with us two, since we're working on this case. They'll get back to their case whenever. Just leave a note. And heck, I mean, if they wanted to join in, maybe lend a hand, vice versa, get a new perspective on it, be all right with that as well.
Yeah, that's always good. And I come out of my office now, and I have an entire plate of pie that I am eating. Does anybody want some pie?
Yes, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What kind is that?
It's a cherry pie.
Cherry? I was going to say, look, cherry.
And it's a sweet and tart cherry pie. So
that's the best kind.
I know. A couple bites, might be just a little bit tart, and then a couple other bites, it's a little sweet. It's perfect.
That's not what I was expecting at all. More of a...
Set that down on the desk between you two. You two sit right across from each other, right? Or no?
No, I sit across from Gus normally.
Okay.
The gym is to my left, actually.
Okay. Well, we've set it up that you guys are partners now. So get up, move your chair, and I'm going to swap the chairs around. So now we've got the two partners sitting across from each other. And
okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, we haven't really settled into the desks, so I guess we don't have to move those.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, that's good. Just moving the chair. There's nothing else here yet. Okay. Y'all want some coffee? Can you bring me up to speed on where we are on? I mean, I know you were working, and I was overhearing you talking a little bit about Mark and this Moto Tweed individual. But where are we also on maybe Oglethorpe?
Right.
Barkley? Do we have
Haven't
any
had a chance to reopen that investigation since we, all the chaos that's been going on. But
well, and what
that
they
one's
were
a heavy one.
right. We didn't even discuss that. What Mark had said. Mark was a survivor of what sounded like one of Oglethorpe's incidents.
Could have been.
You catch that?
I think. Yeah.
He was looking
Sounds
into.
familiar.
He was part of a big group, and he was the only one that survived. Or he was looking into a disappearance, and I think he said he was a part of a group he ran, and no one else was there when he returned. Like, they disappeared. They were taken. I'm trying to remember the exact assault. It lined up almost entirely just like Oglethorpe's incidents.
Mm-hmm.
Now
We
that's
can confirm that. Oglethorpe has no
very
doubt been tracking these sorts of stories. We can ask him and see if that he has any references of this, and we can confirm the sources.
Yeah,
Good.
it's not a bad idea. And maybe the reason you ran into Mark is not for Moto Tweed case, but for Oglethorpe Barkley case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you think about this, Oglethorpe is an expert when it comes to creatures. It could be that the goblin-esque creature that we're looking for in Mark's, well, in the Moto Tweed case, Oglethorpe might just know exactly what that is.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll have the info here. I'm going to pull up my notebook. I started taking a few more notes finally. But yes, Mark was in a search party for a missing family in 2002. The family and the search party were killed entirely. Mark
That's
survived.
terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting
No
because it
doubt.
is family, yeah.
Yep. The
Seems
family
to be
was
following
missing.
the trend.
Search party went after. Search party also perished except for Mark. Because he said Mark heard something and he ran the other way.
I mean, Mark might be a good companion there to Barkley, learn how to monster hunt with a professional.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a very interesting group of people to put together.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I gesture to the office and us. Like,
Oh, sure.
Good
I'm all
things
mean.
happen with good groups of people, You got the right people in the melting pot, and great ideas and things can come from that.
I want to see that RV pull up to that trunk. Just want to see what happens.
They might get some ideas and be like, oh, we use the same jelly guy.
I bet you they do.
I bet you
I
they
bet.
do somehow. That's
I do.
hilarious. But building context and having a set of people that you can reliably reach out to in terms of expertise is not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Yeah,
dumb
the
agent
more I
knows that.
think about that case, the more I fear that we might, because that thing, whatever it is so darn clever, it might just have to really put ourselves at risk in order to really sell it.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Did I put my theory forward on that one?
I don't know.
Y'all-
I didn't hear it.
Mm-mm.
Everything made. I have no idea the fullness of, but there's in school. Well, maybe not for you, Jim. I'm not sure. Maybe not for you, Alda. We occasionally, some of us would look into a little bit of like Native American lore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's this, mind you, but it almost reminded me of the some
Don't
of the
say it.
mythologies that
Don't say that word. Are you about to say a word about with feet? Sorry.
with feet.
Well, never mind. You go ahead.
Bigfoot?
No. Bigfoot's name is Gary, and he's great.
Are you talking about feet? What's going on?
Oh,
Apparently we were. I didn't realize that.
I just was thought
Bigfoot's
maybe.
name is Gary?
Yeah, Bigfoot's name is Gary. He's great.
Huh.
It's just one Bigfoot?
No, he's got 2 feet, and they're huge. Gary's he was a wizard. His ego got the better of him. Anyway, it's a tragic story, but
What was
one
his
for
last
another
name?
time. Oh, hi. You're both back at the same time, and I'm not surprised at all because that's kismet.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I think his name
I
was
guess it is.
like Gary Ambrose something. I don't know. It's a story I heard a long time ago.
Huh.
But yeah, he was a wizard, and I think wizards still to this day tell that story about him. Like, hey, you got to be careful because ego can get the better of you, and you can transmogrify something that doesn't mean to be transmogrified, and then you accidentally find yourself as a Bigfoot. They say
Okay,
they say don't pull a Gary. That's wild stuff.
That's infamous.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
Noted.
yeah. You
No, I
know
wasn't
it's
gonna
bad
say
when
anything
You become a verb. Sorry.
About fate.
Okay.
But I
Talking
will.
about feet?
No, we weren't. That's the thing. That.
Oh.
Yeah. No. I
They
don't-
were when I walked
No, I
in.
mean
They
technically we
talking
were
about
because we were
feet.
No,
talking
not
about
they.
Bigfoot.
Alder. I want to
but
be
I mean,
clear here.
okay, but
Alder.
we were talking about Bigfoot, and if he's just got the one Bigfoot,
You brought
multiple-
that up again. That was all you.
But I mean, it is a conversation in which you are a part of. What is wrong with talking about feet? Why is everybody so weird about talking about
It gets
feet?
weird later.
So what if we
in
were talking
Wences.
about
I-
feet?
It gets
I
weird.
don't yuck people's yum. It's
I don't either, but I
It's
do
fine.
stay away from it.
Talking about
That's
feet.
neither here nor there.
Anyway,
How did
what
this
were
just-
what were you going to say? We were talking about Oglethorpe's case. Also, I moved your your chair over here so that you two have desks across from each other because you're partners now.
Oh.
oh okay.
Real quick, sorry for the observers. What's the facial expression between the two of them when I say you guys are partners now?
There's 5 different facial expressions fighting for dominance upon my face right now. Somewhere between, like someone absolutely failing to mask, like cool.
The weighted word, cool.
Cool. That's sick as hell, dude. Awesome.
Poor Catchy. In like a flash of like just furrowed brows, and then immediately disappears, and they put on their customer service face and just go, okay.
I don't think I clocked that at all. I'd have to roll for it. And I
So
don't
is that
feel
like a
doing it.
lottery draw, or what happened?
Well, yeah, you two are working on, the case in the woods, I think you said, and then these two are working on a Moto Tweed case. And so I figured, y'all might be working on that for a bit, so you might as well sit next to each other and chew the fat. I mean, sitting across from your partner is a good thing. Chewing the fat, getting ideas and all that.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
So
that's
speaking
fine.
of a case, or a case, I guess it's not that one in particular. I got what I think is now my cookbook.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd ask Ikana, but putting that mask on takes a lot out of me, so I'm not gonna do that again. But after Ikana got it, and then I took control of my body again, I don't know how to explain it. I had the wind knocked out of me, but imagine the wind being my very essence.
Like,
And then it made a connection with the essence.
You got sucker punched by your own soul?
I think I got sucker punched by the cookbook.
yeah, that
right.
usually
And
means
it
it's
knocked my
not
soul
yours.
out of me.
Yeah, and it doesn't want
Yes,
you to
but
touch it.
then the thread that connected the book to Ikenna connected to me instead.
Oh,
But I saw the tether break from Ikenna.
So Akana can't use it no more?
That's my guess. I'm
That's
looking at Older as I say
interesting.
this.
Huh.
well, I mean, it depends. If you want Akenna to be able to use it, then he technically would have permission to use it, right? If it's yours, I mean,
Is that how that works?
It depends
I
on what
wouldn't
magic is on
mind.
the book. Like, if you all wanted to touch my book, you could. Don't, but you could. It's not going to hurt you none because you're in the office. You're dumb agents. Anybody else, it might get a little bit sassy.
Yeah, don't
Sometimes
touch
it gets
this one.
sassy with me, to be honest. I open a page and it just says, go brush your teeth. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm looking for a spell. Could you not bother me right now?
Oh,
And then it gets very sassy with me, yeah.
So wait, the words "brush your teeth" are written in the book somewhere, or
Yeah, like I turn to the page that it might even be dog-eared, that I know the spell that I want is right here, but on the page instead of the spell, it says go brush your teeth. And then
So
if
the
I
words can
keep
just
flipping,
be
it'll be like,
replaced.
no, really, Alder, go brush your teeth. And it just sometimes doesn't feel like being very helpful.
dental hygiene is very important.
Yeah, that's what it says too.
that's your takeaway? That makes sense.
I mean, it can be. Sometimes you're working so hard, you go, and when's the last time y'all brushed your teeth? Y'all
This
been
morning.
working on this case? So, cases and stuff. Sometimes you lose time in this place.
To me,
My-
72 hours ago. According to the world, 26 days ago. Okay, so little column A, little column B.
I haven't been able to go to my apartment, so and it's not like I look over at the door,
Yeah.
our extra special door that we have not been wanting to touch, because there's only
Yeah.
2 doors in here, right? There's the
There are technically 3. There's the exit, my office door, which is almost always open, and then the other door. Yep.
I suppose I mean temporal doors,
Yes,
liminal
yeah.
doors.
Yeah.
2
yeah.
of those.
Well,
Yeah. Okay, well,
technically, there's another door in my office. I don't know if you're saying this in character, so maybe, are you saying this in character or out of character?
I guess a big column A, column B.
A bit of, okay, then technically there might be another one in my office. But I haven't mentioned
Fair.
it
I
yet.
don't know that either way.
Right.
But
Okay.
Okay. Well, and I point to the liminal door number 2.
Yeah.
Put it that way. And
Okay.
That door, we haven't really been opening that to, get into a restroom to say brush teeth and things on the account of
Right.
something might say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is it going to do that? Have we quelled that for the moment? Is that still a problem?
So my instinct is to immediately go over to the door, open it, and see. But I learned last time that was not a good method of science, and so I'm not going to do that. No, we
I
have
love
no
you
idea.
talking out your thought process before you do things. It means the world to me,
Okay,
actually.
I'll continue doing that. So how
I do
we?
agree with Gus there. yes.
Okay, well, how do we feel about tackling the door problem? Because we're going to need to get in there. Somebody's going to
Yeah,
have
that
to
might
pee
be
at
one
some
that's
point.
on high on the list.
Yeah, I also think
Yeah,
the
that's
office is
why-
really pissed at us right now. We got, BM and Josephine fighting over that. Where the hell is Josephine? Where's Martha? Well,
Oh, we gotta call
either way, a little bit of column A, column B
We're gonna-
situation
We're going
here.
to call her Martha.
I was calling it Martha.
But well, yeah, he said that might be a good idea because it's similar enough.
We
to-
know
Yeah.
specific,
Oh, I
but
get
it's
ya.
not direct.
Yeah.
I get you. Just
Um,
if I was a creature of unimaginable power bound into a doll, I'd just find that like salt in the wound,
I'd rather not be called BM.
Yeah, but, fair play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. We can just say Mary then if we think there's going to be a problem. I mean, might as well be respectful now at this juncture.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess that isn't the whole incantation, so that's fine, isn't it?
Right. Anyway, we
Could
got.
just be Her Majesty.
I like the way you think, Jim.
I'm gonna
You know?
I'm gonna call it the Queen of Scots.
Her Majesty.
Oh, Her Majesty is fine
Her
if you want to
Majesty's
be that
fine.
formal.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Her Majesty's here. We got Josephine, and that's happening. There are bullet holes. There's stains on the carpet. Like, I think the office is very mad. Things aren't working the way that they should at the moment. So,
I will happily clean up the office and things once we can get in that door and get supplies for said.
oh yeah,
cleaning.
I'm sure. But I'm sure the office isn't happy to none that there's something in that door right now. So, how do we feel about talking about how we solve that problem right there? And I point to the door.
Yeah, that's why I have the cookbook. That's why I went to get Akenna's cookbook.
All right. Well, what'd you find?
Grandma's cookbook.
Do y'all want some
I haven't actually looked
sweet tart pie?
through it.
Oh, yes, I
please.
can.
I'm so
Perfect. It's open for all y'all. Okay. Anyway, sorry. You found what in the cookbook?
I think it was on this page, and I'll flip through the cookbook to the page that I described before, the creature that is similar.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for those of us watching, as Akena does this, it is like opening that book. The book opens almost effortlessly, right? Like it weighs nothing, and the pages are flipping kind of on their own, almost like you might see Akachi make a gesture and the pages flip and the book opens on its own to the page that they're looking for. But it doesn't look like Akachi realizes what they're doing or how little effort it's taking them to get to this page. But the rest of us would immediately notice, whoa, that was a tiny little bit of magic there. Almost like a wizard opened a book. Fantastic. Anyway, sorry, please continue. What'd you find?
I haven't actually read through it yet. The whole, astral projection thing happened the moment I picked it up, so I didn't have the chance. But does this look sort of like what you're dealing with? And I'll flip the book over and push it over to show Gus.
I mean, I guess it's conceptually adjacent, maybe. I mean, I've had a hard time defining exactly what that thing is or looks like. That's sort of its whole deal. So I maybe.
Well, what is that thing,
Yeah.
Akachi?
I can't read the name of it. I don't think it has one, but from what's written here, it seems to chase down anyone that's seen any image of it. Apparently this book is fine. But even if it's just a pixel in a photo, if someone sees it, hunts that person down and takes them out. The only thing that means kill them.
So that means that either there is a spell of protection on that specific page, or it's conceptually adjacent, as Gus said, on purpose.
Maybe. This is definitely not Ikena's writing. I think this looks a lot more like my grandma's. So, if she's been into this whole magic thing longer than either of us, I can see them being knowledgeable enough to do something like that.
Does it have any other information, like how to get rid of it, how to fight it, what to do?
But apparently here, the only way they haven't tried yet is having whoever sees the image of them be in a different plane entirely. But if you're on the same plane as them, as this creature, it seems like there's not really much that can stop it from getting to you once you see an image of it.
Is there a way to make some sort of facsimile or a dummy that might be able to take its attention away, pull its attention somewhere else, like a decoy?
Like Detective Mudd?
I mean, something
And
like
Jim's
that.
gonna slowly pull up the potato sack.
I mean,
The return of the Fifth Ranger.
Yeah.
I think I flipped to the page at the back, and it's definitely in different handwriting over like some other notes that you can only assume and Akachi's grandma wrote, but this is definitely different writing. And Akachi points at it. This is definitely Ikena's writing, and I think he mentioned this before as well, but he managed to trap this for a while, not for very long, in a house of mirrors, because it kept observing itself and kind of trapped it in a loop for a while, but it didn't last too long from what I'm guessing.
wait, but the idea,
That is so clever.
yeah.
That is very clever.
What happens? I mean, House of Mirrors, I see, is looking for something it can't see, but what happens if it observes itself? Does it cause some sort of...
That's exactly why the House of Mirrors, it was trapped, kept observing itself, kept in a loop, essentially chasing itself.
So then
So
what
then
if...
what is it about, hold on, what is it about observation that is the key piece?
I don't know.
I had 2 guesses.
Yeah,
which
let's
is that,
spitball this. Go ahead.
okay, well, one is that it's, and when I say naturally, I do mean super and supranaturally occurring. You know, it's a natural predator of some kind, and it has formed, whether it specifically hunts things that observe it or that's some kind of defense mechanism that it has, I don't know. But it seems to pick its targets based upon those that become aware of its existence or see it. The other is that it's man-made in some sense, or created as a way to destroy information relating to something else and to keep people away from something.
That is something I had not even considered. It's like a trap door or a trap of some kind. You get kind of information and then now it's going to seek you out.
Well, yeah, if you're trying to, if there's some kind of privileged information or location or something that you don't want to be seen, creating some kind of guard dog that inherently targets anyone that possesses that information would be, it's what I would do.
Brilliant.
In theory.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a spiritual,
if I was
supernatural.
If I was morally bankrupt and I'd stop looking at me like that.
Well, no.
Normally
It is
I'll
interesting
jump
that you say
that is
it is what you would
Yeah.
do, even though you wouldn't do it, because you're the one observing it. Does it have qualities that you yourself would attribute?
Like, that is fucking so smart, Jim. Like, is there something that is already a mirror, a reflection happening here with this creature?
I don't think I'm the first thing it's gone for.
No, but it
is going for you
it's
for some
observing
reason. Yeah. Observing you. That's such a good point. It is observing you. How long have you been dealing with this thing, Gus? Let me get my book. Okay.
Just over a year now, maybe.
A year. Okay. Did you learn any information? Did anything happen to you that you can recall when this thing started?
I was, investigating a number of cases, and the more that the cases drew me into, I guess, let's call it dumb adjacent territory.
Okay.
The more weird occurrences seems to happen, but
Can you
it
tell?
wasn't until
Sorry.
well, it wasn't until a few months ago that actually manifested into anything. I don't know what wire was tripped necessarily, but at some point I was reinvestigating previous cases that I'd worked on, trying to draw connections between them, and it was in the process of photographing these various scenes and places that I seemed to catch a glimmer of something that maybe I'd missed before, and that's when...
Do you still have the photographs and things?
No, those were completely destroyed, obliterated. Like the process of rendering it in the developer led to it climbing through the photo like it was a doorway.
Okay, that's horrifying.
And the only way I was able to get out of there was with basically just by dumping developer and dissolving it in the liquid, and then I had to run, and then I ended up here. So it's sort of the inciting incident for how I came to meet all of you in the first place.
Holy shit.
So I'm pretty sure if the office door didn't appear to me that day, I would be dead, or whatever it does to you. I'm presuming death. I'm kind of hoping death.
Yeah, the alternative does not sound great. Okay, Gus, tell us what you know about the cases you were working. Let's see. Let's trade ideas, y'all. See if we can't figure out maybe what tripped this trap, if it were a trap.
I worked for an investigative network, basically. So it was pooled resources across...
Oh my God, did you work for the CIA?
No, I didn't work for
the... meet somebody who
So you know
worked for
what
the
that
CIA.
is,
I
huh?
do know what that is, because when I was here
I've never...
Anyway, sorry.
The only 3-letter agency. The one I worked for had 4, okay? It had 4 letters.
4 letters, okay.
And it was basically just a way of pooling resources across these, semi-rural areas, because weird shit kept happening that would sort of be more... you're not meant to get that much violent crime out these ways. So this sort of pooling of resources and detectives and forensic analysts was to try to alleviate the weight off of the local sheriff's departments of these disparate regions. And typically what we would end up investigating would be pretty brutal, and it's stuff that you could feasibly write off as, you know, horrible accident, or as self-inflicted, or as an animal attack. Things that didn't necessarily fall under the umbrella of homicide. And then there were some homicides that just didn't seem to have clear motivation and were ritualistic in nature. And we were just trying to find commonalities and common threads, while sort of, loosening the workload for, you know, sheriffs and deputies who usually are just dealing with, you know, drunken disorderlies or getting people home that are, you know, whose cars have broken down. People that don't usually have to deal with this level of violence and bloodshed. You wanted to hear about the cases themselves?
Yeah. Do you want me to bring a chalkboard out here? Do you want a murder board? I think you should take lead.
A murder board?
Yeah, or a chalkboard. Anything for you to, like, you know, we could pin stuff, and I just want to hear the cases and the connection, and then just see if any of us have any ideas.
Okay.
I'll get a chalkboard, and you can write some of the key elements down. And I disappear for a second into the other room, and you hear me rummaging. I know it's around here somewhere. And then I come out with.
This is we'll start with an example. We'll start with one of the more clear-cut ones. I hesitate as if I've made a terrible pun, and then I proceed, and I write the words Timberwick up on the chalkboard. Okay, we had a man that worked at a remote logging camp. He was in his early 40s. He wasn't scheduled to be there at the time of work, but he was, you know, effectively a lumberjack. He worked at a lumber mill. His entire job was to process the felling of trees and then, you know, help chop it down, break it down. We know what a lumber mill is, right? We all know what a sawmill is?
Yeah.
We all have the...
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just checking. Jim, you know what a sawmill is? I assume?
we used to cart the logs on our dinosaur.
I'm just checking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. There was this one worker who continually complained about the equipment malfunctioning whenever he was around. No one else could report any issues with the equipment. But whenever he would interact with, you know, a chainsaw or any kind of vehicle, it seemed like there was always some kind of engine trouble, or he'd have trouble starting the chainsaw in question. And he kept putting in reports to maintenance, who would then check it out and report it was completely fine. It seemed to all be in his head. He was getting in trouble at work. He then breaks into the property after hours while apparently intoxicated to some level, and in the process somehow ends up severing his own leg just above the knee with a chainsaw. So some kind of horrible malfunction that throws the chain from the chainsaw, and he severs his own leg completely, and he dies of blood loss within a matter of minutes. That's an example of one of the cases that I worked on. So my job was to go up there, photograph the scene. My investigative partner, Max, would, you know, be on the people side of things, asking questions, and I was documenting and trying to draw my own conclusions. But, and I open a drawer and take out a photo album that I have brought with me from home at some point. And I take out a trio of Polaroids, one that is a set of footprints in what looks like muddy snow. And then it seems to be a shot taken from like as if I've like climbed a staircase into this sort of like very like wooded, snowed in like forested area. And there's just blood everywhere in the photo, but it seems like this person, as they've been like dragging themselves around on the ground, they've created like almost like an art piece, like something like this large symbol in the snow with the blood that is like trailed from their wound. The thing is, the autopsy says that the sever point, you know, the laceration that led to the loss of this man's leg was too clean for a chainsaw blade. and the leg was never recovered. So,
Oh.
that's just an example of the fun things that I did for a living before I met all you. You know, it's been sunshine and rainbows ever since, really.
Is that the case? Is that kind of what you were working on when this thing started appearing to you?
It was one of them. This was one of the places I photographed.
Yeah.
So this is that I went back and I took photos much later after the occasion. So it was all cleaned up by the time I went back there.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're saying that your first encounter with this thing was through a photograph of a scene that you took, right? Is that what you're saying?
I photographed a couple of these crime scenes that I'd returned to, and when I developed the batch of those photos, it was one of them. So it could be this one, or it could be one of the other 3 that I looked at.
Okay. Was there...
Could it be all of them?
That's
It
what
could
I
be.
was just thinking. Also, was it like a specific photograph on the I think, what are they called? You know, it's like the little strip. Right?
Yeah,
the
these were
film?
negatives in this case.
Right.
So
Was it a specific frame?
I couldn't tell you. It
Okay.
was in the process of, I was
Developing
enlarging
the
the
whole thing.
negatives. I was
Yeah,
going through that
okay.
process.
So we don't know. It could be any one of the 3. Okay, what were the other 2 you were working on?
I have one that I floated past Akachi previously. I'm going to speak about these a little more simplified.
Yeah, please, shock on us. Let's
So
go.
we can break them through. We have 2 identical people that died in almost identical circumstances at roughly the same time on 2 separate bodies of frozen water.
It's that
at the same
one.
time.
Right? It's got to be that one.
Could be.
It's already the mirroring happening. Anyway,
Well,
go ahead. Sorry. That was just
These
my
two
instinct.
people at roughly the same time at night, in the midst of a very cold winter, abandon their vehicles, sprint out onto ice. They both fall through the ice and they both drown. But in the process, they both scratch what appears to be some kind of geometric pattern or symbol on the underside of the ice. And both of them somehow lost a finger in the process of them trying to claw themselves to safety.
It was the same finger?
It was a different finger. It was almost like mirrored. Left ring, right ring, 2 different people. No connections between the people. Then we have something that's a little bit more cut and dry. It was a murder. The presumption was that the person was taking revenge upon someone. It's some kind of narcotics related dispute. But what stood out as bizarre to us is that the person that stabbed him almost like a machine playing out a program, rather than like a person passionately stabbing someone to death. Almost like you instructed a robot to do 21 stabs and it played out that way. But it was clearly an altercation between 2 people. So we found a number of additional stab wounds and gouges in the wood around this person's body, because even after the person hit the ground, they were still wildly stabbing at. Yeah, and then the other one is a woman being dismembered in a cabin, and there only being one other occupant in the cabin with her at the time. And the result of the investigation was that it must have been a wild animal attack, like a bear had broken into the cabin, but the damage to the door leading to the cabin indicated that it had been burst open from the inside rather than from the outside in. So that's the 4 that I was looking at the time.
Okay, so that one sounds very similar to the stuff that we're dealing with Barkley, right? Maybe not exactly the same, but similar enough, right? Full dismemberment and all that.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
my instinct is that
there's a lot
one
of blood in
or-
all of these.
Yeah, my instinct is that one or the weird one with the 2, the mirroring, just because of the way that you guys described how Mr. Thing in there would mimic your movements, right? If you moved, it moved, and then being observed and the things.
I was curious. What, 3 of these have sigils involved?
They all have some kind of symbology involved. They all have some kind of geometric pattern or shape that's being played out.
Could you have taken these 4 photos, have to the circle, a rune?
Holy
What,
shit.
if they were all combined? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You're developing these 4 photos when the thing crawled out. Could you have just finished a circle?
I suppose so. Could have, like, completed a circuit and activated something, basically, like by having them all present in the same place at the same time.
Is there a way to use those 4 then to disrupt that? If you have the originals, put some sort of blocker in it or alter it in some way?
So, I don't have the originals. The photos I took of each of the crime scenes was after they'd taken place, like months after. So the crime scenes had been cleaned up. I have photos, I have a couple photos because I'm not really meant to be using a Polaroid camera, on the job. I'm meant to be using my, issued like DSLR camera for most of these. So I have Polaroids of the original cases, but only a couple. I don't have like the full, photographic suite.
Has anybody else seen these pictures? Or is it just you?
Just me with the Polaroids. Me and Max. But we didn't let anyone else look at the Polaroids. You're welcome to. I don't know if that's going to invite something in this moment.
Well, it's already here.
Yeah, and did your friend Max, did they deal with anything after seeing the same things as you on the Polaroids?
Well, as far as I can tell, he's dead.
Oh.
Everyone says he's missing, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Okay, sorry.
So when you took these pictures with your Polaroid camera of the scenes, and you developed them, looked at them, you're sure that nobody else saw them?
Unless someone's gone through my stuff and taken a look at them at some point, I don't believe so. When it came to the photographs that I took of the crime scenes after the fact, I was using a more like documentative approach, I suppose. I used my DSLR camera because I wanted to see if something in the dark room would reveal something that I hadn't seen before. So it was something about being in the dark room, being in that space, trying to invoke something that was hidden from sight, I suppose. That seemed to be, all I remember was that I was pleading with something to show me what I'd missed. And that's when everything went awry.
Are you familiar with seeing without seeing?
Like second sight?
That's what a picture is. Seeing without seeing is what a picture is. So, you take a picture of something, that moment, you don't actually perceive it. You perceive what was. You see it without seeing. Could be that whatever you photographed and you saw, right? Maybe without knowing it, realizing it, you captured something and it saw you.
Yeah.
Through one of these photos.
There's some perceptions, I suppose, in some, mythologies or otherwise that, a photograph can capture or render or take something. A stolen moment or memory or...
It's the only thing I could think of as far as how it attached to you. And you asking for that specifically could have given you exactly what you wanted. You might have captured it without realizing it and looked at it without realizing it. That it attached to you without you realizing it. But whatever it is, well, it seems to be based on observation. And as far as I understand, how you perceive it is how it's perceived. And I'm beginning to sense a pattern. The lumberjack who died No doubt workplace accidents are always on the mind. That's one worse way to go. And going out onto the ice, it's everybody's worst nightmare to fall through and drown. Seems that everybody's going the way they would imagine how they'd go in a situation that, in those scenarios.
Now that's interesting. What if
The
the
connective
only two
tissue.
thing? Yeah. What if the only two thing that those people on the lake had in common was that their worst fear was that they'd fall through the ice someday?
The connective tissue between the cases, from our perspective, was that nobody died quickly. Is that everyone
Now that's
took time to expire, and every one of them died in... I think we all know drowning is a pretty rough way to go, but when it comes to all the other cases, which was, you know, exsanguination and dismemberment in one case, no one died quickly. There seems to be a drawing out of the death in each case.
that screams
Bit
like ritual
fear.
to me. Yeah, like
Or-
feeding on
yeah.
something. Yeah, absolutely. Either some sort of sacrifice or ingredient, terrible as that is, or something feeding on that. Now,
That-
I had another thought too. Sorry, Harry, you go ahead.
No, all I'm thinking is that does kind of, at least tangentially, seem to line up with Oglethorpe's.
Yeah,
The
kinda
picture you
does.
took, Gus, of the victim, right before it hit him, the intense fear, and when that creature was looking sort of you, sort of through and the bottle and all that, its emotion was glee and humor and laughter and things. It was getting something out of it, which, before I forget, my theory on that, Alder, I'll not invoke the name because I think it is, but it reminded me a little bit of the lore, a little bit I know, which I'm not an expert on, of the dog-like creatures that start with the letter C. There's a deity or an entity in the lore around that. Small wolf-like creature starts with a C.
Oh,
Chihuahua?
No, not that. That's hilarious, though. No, I'm talking about the pack hunters. They're wild. But there's one it's a trickery god.
coyote.
They're pretty...
Okay. I didn't know we could invoke that. The name. You said names are not to be invoked and
That's
things.
my first name. Also,
Okay.
nice
Is that Kismet?
to meet you. Yeah, it's either Kismet or really weird. I didn't know I was named after some sort of trickster god.
I don't know a lot of the lore. I'm not an expert, and I would never claim to be. It might not even be that, frankly, because I don't know if it took pleasure in murdering everything. It was more trickery, and that's not killing everything. You don't really get to walk away with a trick unless its whole goal is just fucking with Oglethorpe.
You'd be
But I
surprised
don't think it was-
how many creatures that is just exactly how they feed. Is all
Yeah, I
my feelings.
don't. At least in its lore, I don't remember it ever being inherently murderous. It was more trickery against the other gods. So I'm not sure that it really fits. But some of the things kind of made me, I don't know, the wolfish grin, the humor, the laughing at our inability to deal with it or figure things out. It watching us the whole night, all that. Anyway, I just wanted to say it before I forgot. I don't know if it has a line to what this thing pointing at the door is or not. It seems they're separate, but
Yeah.
So, I guess one preventative measure, though, just a thought, although it might be dangerous. Periscopes, used in submarines, lenses, right? You don't directly look out to see what's above. It's a series of mirrors. So you can observe it without seeing it. You're seeing its reflection. So that could be a way of preventing, right, the attachment of this entity to you. We could, in essence, build a periscope for the door to see
That
if
is
the
a
coast is
great
clear.
idea.
because if you look the other way through it, it
worried
doesn't.
about that, though, because at least from what I was gauging from our talk over the walkie-talkie order, Gus just drew a picture and it reacted. I don't think mirrors making it quote unquote indirect would change that.
Unless,
and again, Gus had a photo, which again isn't direct, but still.
Yeah, but
seemed
isn't
to
that also
activate it.
using a series of lenses and mirrors?
Yes, exactly. And the camera, and it still summoned the creature. So I don't know if a periscope would change that.
But
it had to
are you
get
able to
through.
look through a periscope on the opposite way and see all the way back the same? Is it one way or two way? Because if you draw a picture, if it's a window, it sees you. If you take a picture, it's there, it can see you. If you're able to find a way to make it so it's a one-way...
Looking through a periscope, there's no way for you to...
You're describing like a two-way mirror that we can observe it while it can only see itself.
Yeah, like exactly. A two-way mirror. If you're able to see it, but it can't see you, everything has been described. It's able to look back at you, whether it's through an image or something. You draw an image of it, well, you've now opened that window for it to see you. If
well,
we
now
can
wait
observe
a second, because we seem to be conflating sight with
knowledge,
connection, or knowledge. Yeah, because what if it's not the image? It's the knowledge of the thing. Like you're thinking, I'm thinking about you. And, maybe you get, an itchy ear or something. They say somebody's thinking about you and you feel it, right? Or you sneeze or something. It's because somebody's thinking about you. There's folklore like that. What if it wasn't necessarily the picture, but the fact that Gus was actively thinking about the creature while drawing it?
Could we just get rid of the memories of it then?
I mean...
And then it would not be here?
I will also say, and... Guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when this thing first arrived, you didn't even know it existed. You had no knowledge of it.
Holy shit, guys!
I didn't know it was here. I didn't know it followed me, whatever it was. But the first thing I told Older when I showed up here was that something drove me through the door, or I had no choice because I was being pursued.
I don't even mean that. I mean when it literally first showed up to you through the photo. You weren't looking for it. You didn't know of it. It just showed up.
Well,
No,
Gus,
but
we
I
don't
was-
know that Gus was looking for it because what did Gus say? Show me what I missed. It sounds like Gus could have been looking for it without realizing that's what he was looking for, right?
Yeah, I think I invoked it inadvertently. It could have been in every single image I'd ever taken of it, and not reacted until I called upon it. But I do know that the more that I speak about it and the more that I define it, the more it seems to apply to it.
Oh, hell.
That was the sensation I had last time, was the more that I put rules around it, that I am trapping it in these boundaries, but also giving it feels like maybe giving it power at the same time. Like the more known it is, the less freely it can move, but also the more activated or conscious it becomes.
You know what else does that? We do. And I was thinking this as you were describing it. Oh boy, that would be really messed up, and maybe I shouldn't mention it, but with the whole mirrors and the reflection thing, I couldn't help but think, like, what if it is, especially after Jim said something, a reflection of a part of you somehow, maybe a nature of your magic, or I'm not saying that it is you, please understand me, but that it somehow light bounced or refracted or whatever, and it came to life out of you for you asking for your own magic, essentially. And the more we think about what we can do, the more boxed in we get. I'm not being very eloquent, but you know what I'm saying? Like affirmations,
I do.
right? So if you put limitations and boundaries on what you think you can do, then all of a sudden you're boxed in. So we do that too. I think we might want to consider potentially that it is connected directly to you and not necessarily that it's a trapdoor. Although I do think the trapdoor is the most leading one. I think it's trapdoor.
You say,
yeah.
if you say I can climb 20 steps,
Yeah.
you're also limiting yourself from climbing 30.
Exactly.
But yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Self-fulfilling
exactly what I meant.
prophecy almost.
Yeah, kind of. Or just it's our understanding of ourselves. It's the limits that we put on ourselves, like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I like this and I like that. Well, it just suddenly limits you from other things without you realizing it's something we do as we grow. So, that's terrifying as well. I think we try to find a way to magic that door into being a two-way mirror. Or some sort of peephole. Maybe not the whole
Or mirror
doorway.
house of mirrors.
I mean, we could try that, but I don't know if that's gonna... I kind of want to observe it first.
Yeah. See what we're working with without it being able to see us in theory.
Yeah.
But if
And
it
what
is
magic's
the
in
knowledge
the
of
metaphor.
the thing, yeah, the problem is, if you know that you're observing it, then it has observed you because you know that you're observing it. That might be the connection.
Unless
That's true.
the
He's right.
magic of the metaphor. We know we're observing it, but we're using a method that it can't observe us back. That's what we're creating. Two-way mirror. So if
There
we're
is
going in
no-
with that should have that foundation where it can't, correct? That'd be its own blocker.
Older, I'm going to make a pop culture reference.
Okay, thank you for
going to
warning me
warn
in
you.
advance. I'll get my cream.
My partner is a big fan of a show called Doctor Who.
Ah, yeah.
And there's a creature known as the Weeping Angels. And the whole thing about them is that any image of a weeping angel becomes a weeping angel. And there was an episode where just thinking about it produced an image in the person's mind, and it turned them into a weeping angel.
I don't know if I
If
saw that
we're
one.
able to observe this thing, would just thinking about it produce the image? Or hell, would the reflection in our eyes show the image we are looking at, which it would, and would it be able to see through that reflection?
Not if the whole room's dark, right? Which is a whole other thing to think
would
about. How are we going to observe it in there?
It is very hungry for eyes. I should just warn you all. It's definitely
Oh, good.
eye-oriented.
Okay, what is
That's good
that
info.
then? If magic is in the metaphor, we've got the answer here. We just need to get it. If it's hungry for eyes, what does that mean? Perception, right? Being observed. What is it? Hungry for an audience? Is it hungry to be watched, to be seen, to be known?
Or does it want the exact opposite?
Or
Does it desperately
exactly?
not want to
Does
be
it
known?
not want to be seen? Does it want to be?
It's eliminating
Does it
everything
want to
that knows
see
its
through your
existence.
eyes, which is a whole other thing as well? Maybe you see something it don't. Maybe you're invoking, show me something that I've missed. You've called forth a creature that feels the same way and can't see the things that you see. I don't know.
I think if you think of it this way, whatever you attribute to it is what it will become. So, the most logical thing to do then is to perceive it in a way that isn't dangerous.
Yeah.
But then again, that doesn't eliminate the thing itself. It only prevents you from being overcome by it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think that's the best we have so far.
in that case, I definitely, other than perceiving it as really weak and easy to kill, which I'm still kind of hoping for, I'm hoping that it works that way. I would truly believe in my heart of hearts that if it's confronted with an image of itself that we are looking through like a two-way mirror, I think that is the only way to make its abilities inert for that time. I do truly believe that. It makes sense.
You know who else
It
is
was
like
mentioned
that?
in the book.
The devil. The literal devil in some cultures. The way to trap the devil before coming into your house is to put a mirror in front of your doorway, because he catches his reflection and then cannot stop staring at himself, the vain prick, until sunrise, and then he leaves.
It was pride that made Lucifer fall.
So what? We turn the inside of the door into a one-way mirror, we don't see anything. We just plop a mirror in there, so all it looks at is itself.
It might just
Or
be
open the door with a mirror.
Well, I mean, the room becomes whatever we need, right? Could
Yeah.
we try to manifest it into a room of mirrors?
We could try. I think it would take all of us to do that. Do we want to do that before we really know what it is?
Is Perseus's mirrored shield like a real thing that we could find? Is that like a thing that we could get? Or
What?
like Perseus, you know, Greek myth, Perseus,
No.
the Medusa and the...
Oh, reflected Medusa back at itself, so it ended up turning itself to stone.
Okay,
In a
well,
way
we
of-
could, in terms of like magical objects that really exist from myth, we could go to the dividend and ask. It would probably be pretty fucking expensive, but maybe that's why Jim won all that money.
That isn't a bad call.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe what we're missing is, that's just an example, but yeah, some kind of artifact or object that allows us to accomplish this task without playing too fast and loose with it.
Yeah, what we would probably want to do is put our heads together and think about some artifacts or myth or lore to find something that maybe catches multiple bases. Like, is there a somewhat religious iconography that we could use versus Satan, for example? If Lucifer is kind of the vibe, you know, cover our bases, make sure we're getting the mirror, and maybe the mirror has a crucifix on it or something, you know what I mean? Just to make sure we cover all that. I do think having some sort of two-way mirror or way to see in there for now is a good idea while we're working on this thing.
You think the office can hold this thing indefinitely? Because it's definitely...
No, I think it's upset. I think it's upset with us, and I don't think it wants it in there. And I think it's doing a good job, but some of the stuff isn't working the way it normally does. So I'm wondering if it's diverting energy somehow to keep this thing.
Integrating.
Yeah.
So in that case, one of our objectives should be finding a way to trap it outside the office. I don't think we'll have issues luring it out. I think that part will be pretty easy, actually.
Yeah.
But
So we want
we need to...
movable mirror, like maybe a
I mean,
big one.
but the shield that is rooted in pretty significant mythologies.
Tell me the story.
Go for it, Gus. You seem more familiar, but I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the full story.
In Greek myth, there is a woman who's been very badly done by the gods, by the way. Like, you know, I don't really see her
They
as the
all
villain by
are.
any means.
Surprise.
But
Yeah.
But she's been turned into something called a gorgon, which in the myth means that she gets a head full of snakes for hair, and she is cursed or empowered to be able to turn people to stone if they lock eyes with her, basically. And in the myth, Perseus ends up, who is this Greek hero, goes into the lair to confront her, but because she is so dangerous, he can't look her in the eyes. And so there's different versions of this story. So some say that, you know, he blindfolds himself. Some say that he, you know, temporarily blinds himself, because some versions have Medusa able to compel you to look into her eyes.
Yeah.
There's like a compulsion that she has as well.
Yeah. Like, what's her name?
But
The Queen.
Siren. Oh,
The Queen
Her
had
Majesty.
that. Yep, Her Majesty
yeah,
had that. Thank you.
yeah,
Her
same
Majesty.
same way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then several popular versions of the myth also have that Perseus defeats her. There's some that he tricks her into looking into a reflection of herself, which then turns her to stone. And there's some that he goes in with a polished a shield that's polished to like a mirror sheen, that is that he then uses to reflect her curse back upon herself. So it's definitely the idea of returning or rejecting what has been endowed. Return to sender, basically, is the metaphor there, I suppose.
Write that down.
Return to sender? Okay,
Yep.
all right.
Okay. I'm terrified to trap this thing without knowing for sure if it's connected definitely intrinsically to you, Gus. Because that has some implications for you, I think. So I think our first step is figuring out how to make. Do we know how a two-way mirror is made? What the magic is there?
It ain't magic. It's
The magic?
Magic is science. It's the same thing.
The science is pretty easy. We can also, I guess, buy two-way mirrors with ease.
And what? Just drill a hole in the door?
Is it going to appreciate that?
I have no
We
idea. I think
manifest the two-way mirrors, a two-way mirror room, a house of mirrors in the door.
so. Here's the thing. The less work that the office has to do, I think, is better. So if we need to go get something and bring it in here and drill a hole in the door, I think the office will forgive us if it's getting the thing out. Right?
The only place I know that has two-way mirrors would be like a police station or something that has interrogation rooms.
Well, fantastic. Don't you work for one of those?
That is maybe up for debate. I might have to have a conversation. I mean, I work with, I don't know. Well,
why don't you have a conversation with whoever you need to have a conversation with, and in the meantime, we all sneaking in and stealing a mirror. How hard is it to steal a mirror?
You're gonna. I'm sorry. You're gonna. Sorry. Wait. Okay.
Mirror?
I misunderstood because I thought what you were saying was see if we can borrow an interrogation room to trap a demon or spirit,
well, how
whatever
are we?
it is.
We need to bring it here so we can use it on the door. Am I misunderstanding?
So your plan is I distract my boss who's already mad at me while you heist a two-way mirror from the police station.
Well, we don't need the whole thing. Just a piece.
I feel like we can. I think we can buy these a lot easier than y'all are making it out to be.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Just buy one.
Okay, but we're buying one that no one's used before. I think there is magic and metaphor in history, and getting a two-way mirror that has actually caught a fucking nasty criminal would be really good. Like, what if we got a two-way mirror, a piece of a two-way mirror that had trapped some famous serial killer that I would not be able to reference in this moment, but one of y'all would be able to help me reference in this moment because you would know.
Like Ted Bundy.
Perfect. That is exactly who I was thinking.
I actually don't want to invoke. I don't want to invoke that guy. Actually,
I don't think that guy was ever caught. So I think that'd be really.
That's because it was probably multiple people. Anyway, that's a whole other conspiracy theory for another day. But I'm pretty sure it was multiple people. Anyway. Exactly like that. If we get a piece of a mirror like that, so maybe not your police station, but maybe we could sneak into another police station, the one that caught Ted Bundy.
One that's abandoned, maybe?
I'd have to do it.
Maybe abandoned,
I'd have to do a bit of research. Okay, well then, abandoned. Yeah. Okay, asylums might have them as well. Oh God. Sorry. Let me reframe really quickly. I believe that the way that two-way mirrors work is a trick of light refraction and like polarizing of the material. So I don't know this for sure. I'd have to double check it, but it's not like it's not necessarily like you buy a mirror and it works that way. It's actually about how the rooms are set up and how light is used in the rooms is what actually leads to them
the actual material the mirror is made of, because the material used for a normal mirror is very different to what you'd use for a two-way. Okay. I could very easily find people that I can buy this from. If we need one that's used, I don't know, I can look on eBay. Okay,
can I ask what the big deal is about taking a tiny piece, like a peephole worth of two-way mirror from a police station? Could leave money on it and an apology letter.
I think it's getting in and out without issue is the problem.
Oh,
I guess the question is this a thing that you want to work scientifically, or do you want to make it work like magically? Because
it's going to
have
to do both, right?
Okay, well. Then I see the principle of what you're saying in that case. If the goal is to have a fully scientifically functioning mirror, double two-way mirror, that's one thing. But you want to make like almost like a telescope that can accomplish the same task.
What did you call
like
it,
a viewfinder?
Jim? Yeah, he called it what was that? A periscope?
Periscope.
Yeah, I want to make that, but I want to make it out of something that's already witnessed a monster. Right? Magically, we want to get part of a two-way mirror that helped capture a monster. So we got to find one of those.
Okay. So you... Yeah. That's an invocation as well, is that the mirror was present for like a confession or the capturing of something.
Or the capturing of an actual human monster would be great. Right? Because that'd be a lot more powerful. That's going to protect us more than something you get from, Maynard's.
Okay.
Because here's
That
the
makes
thing.
sense.
If there's no risk in what we're doing, if there's no risk to us, then how much are we really paying in terms of cost? If we can just go down somewhere and buy something, that's great. But I do think having something that has some sort of power behind it might be better for a thing that we don't know, trapping wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Contingencies.
Yeah, exactly. So do we even know where Mr. Bundy was caught? Did he confess?
Oh, they're from Seattle, but now I'm not actually sure if they were caught or not.
Or even the camera used to record an interview? If we can use a lens or something from one of those and apply it to what we're doing here, that might be good.
I guess that's something I could track down.
Yeah.
Or look into. Or maybe, again, the dividend. Maybe that's something that they
We
would
could.
have
It'd be better
a
if we
lead on.
procured ourselves, because if we go to the dividend and ask, it's going to cost us something, which is fine. I don't mind paying, but
I mean,
Do you
I
maybe
have
have,
plenty
like-
of coin.
it's true. Maybe the coin is exactly for this purpose.
Or
And also
unless you know
carry
someone that might have a lead on where to find, a camera or that's involved in that. Because
I do actually know a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. She's kind of weird, but I could reach out to her.
I fear not the one you claim weird. I fear only the one you call normal. Okay.
You know
okay,
that
fair enough.
I feel the one that she calls weird more, because if she thinks they're weird, no offense, Older, but they must be weird.
Alder, would you describe any of us as normal?
Yeah. I mean, I'm normal. You're normal. We're all normal. I mean, we're a little bit on the
yeah. Go with
tilted
what
side.
Akashi said. Yeah.
But I mean, we're doing the best that we can with what we've got in terms of information that most people don't have, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's spitball then. Let's think of some ideas or objects or historical things that we might be able to get our hands on that would help us in this situation. What are objects that may have observed or kept in place while observing monsters or bad people or bad things?
So we're looking at interview/interrogation cameras, like used for those
Potentially.
purposes.
Yeah, a camera.
Security cameras at the place of a violent crime. Like CCTV.
What about
I
anything
guess-
from your time period, Jim? Anything you can think of?
I don't know. Really comes to mind radar.
Radar's actually
Radio.
not bad. Radar's not bad. Do you know any, are there any, because you were saying submarines, right, using their periscope. Are there any historical submarines that maybe witnessed something or prevented some great disaster? Maybe we could borrow the lens from one of them.
Not in particular, and that comes to mind. I can't think of. I mean, I was in a whole different theater. I was the Eastern Theater, and that's more of like a Pacific front. I don't know if we wanted to delve into that history. I mean, I've got a buddy who served over at Pacific Theater who might know of any tales of, heroic submarines.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth looking into. I think basically what we want to do is we want to, put our thinking hats on, go away, think about some of these objects that might help us here in this situation, and then look at the list and pick our best shot. Because really, that's all this is increasing your odds of success. That's all magic is.
I mean, my job was observing people, specifically observing those who were trying to hide things.
Right, so maybe you
So I
should be
was-
the one to look through the door.
Yeah, probably.
It's either you or Gus, probably.
'Cause we were always watching those CCTVs, keeping an eye on everybody.
Jim, you were a private investigator, right?
That's right.
What do you use to spy on people or to catch
Well,
your prey?
to eavesdrop?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'd use a stethoscope sometimes just to overhear conversations, put it right up to the door.
Holy shit,
And,
do we have one of them? Can we just put can we do that right now? So we can hear something?
To listen to it?
Yeah.
I imagine so.
We could put
I
a
have
couple
one on
on the
my
door.
person.
Grab that glass right there. Put it up against the door and listen.
Clever.
Who wants to do it?
Oh.
Because last
Sure,
time
why
I
not?
just did a thing. I almost got us all killed. Is
Yeah,
this an
I'll do
okay
it.
idea? Okay, all right. Harry?
We're listening, we're not looking, so
Right.
maybe it's different.
I mean, it is still an act of observation, but we will find out whether or not you listening also applies.
True that.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
From having coffee and pie, which we didn't really focus on, but I actually did taste this time.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
by 30 days at one point or another after Gus's roll. I
Yeah.
decided to add that to the maths
That
to it.
works. That works for me.
How much burn would have gone?
So usually I would say if you sit down for a meal, it's one burn per, not per thing that you're eating, but you're taking the moment to rest and eat. So one, even though it was coffee and pie, it's together.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wanted to check. Thank you. Okay.
Why? How much burn you rocking, Harry?
No, I only have 2 now.
Okay.
It was just more of a whether or not some of my abilities you could use a burn roll if I have 0.
Okay. All right.
But okay. Well, I put the glass up, kind of plug one ear and listen in.
Make a roll, please. This one, I think, is mine. Yes, that's right.
Fair enough. Well, let's see. I would say, especially because I can't use soul for this, and
Yeah.
mine's not my best, nor is body, actually. I haven't done anything with those. I do have devil in the details,
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can use that here.
since I'm observing a space.
Yep.
or examining. All right. Any shift here?
No shift, but I am going to ask Gus, can you roll mine for me as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any modifiers?
Nope.
That's
Fantastic.
40,
Okay.
but
It's a 93.
Okay. Are either of you spending burn to reroll? I know you don't really know what's happening here, but just thought I'd ask.
I don't see any reason why I would at this moment.
Yep. Sounds good.
I'm not going to use the burn to reroll, but I am going to use coin flip, which just says once per session, I can just reroll a fail. No burn needed.
Okay.
I have to take the second.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So,
Ooh,
43.
Jim.
Oh well.
43.
So
Jim
still
rolled a
failed.
45. Okay. Okay. You put this this glass, this like drinking glass up against the door here and listen in. And the first thing that you notice probably is that you can't really hear anything at all, right? It just sounds like muffled room tone kind of. What do you... I have to be very careful how I ask this. What do you assume that you are going to hear, Harry?
I'm trying to remember, and if it's something that's just the way it is, that's totally fine. When I was stuck in the room with it, with and without Agachi, did I hear? I don't know if I even heard breathing.
You didn't, as far as you know.
Did I hear it move when it sprinted?
I don't think you did, no.
Okay, because it was completely silent.
I think so, yes. And also, yes, for you.
For
It
me,
was.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't assuming there. So when we put my ear to that, I'm remembering it didn't make noise when it moved. It didn't breathe. But if it's been trying to get at us, perhaps it's right up against this door with claws or something trying to, maybe not push through, but also observe. You know how you know those horror movies where the person like puts their ear to the door, and on the other side, the creature's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of anticipating that. Unfortunately, but nonetheless, that's kind of what I went into thinking might be the case.
That is also
because
what I
it's
assumed the case was.
been trying to observe us as well.
Yeah, and also I believe you tricked it into mirroring you last, right?
No,
Akachi got you out?
we got you.
That's right.
No, I
Yeah,
did,
you
because
did.
I convinced it that I was more interesting
Yeah.
still when it was looking at you.
Yeah, that's right. And so
That's how you got out. It was I convinced it.
okay, and so you rolled a 43. So I think when you put your ear up against the door, I think you go through the thought of like, oh, it didn't make any sounds. And then, do you remember to you what that silhouette looked like? That dark silhouette?
I do, because it was multiple rows of sharp teeth, some like beady yellow eyes and antlers, and tall. But I no more other features than that. No claws, no legs, no feet. It was more like almost Cheshire Cat kind of.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
it was the
Yep.
absence of looking at it was more what observed, but that was the image that formed in my mind when I was looking away from it.
Yeah, and it had the horns, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
horns, almost like goat horns, like ram horns, the spiral.
Yeah. So as you put your ear up and you're starting to remember kind of the silhouette that you were seeing, you start to hear something, which is like these weird, almost like the entire room itself is breathing or making some sort of sound. It doesn't sound like a breath, but it does have that rhythm.
What I'm hearing, does it sound like listening to the ocean through a conch shell?
A little bit. But
Because that's what I hear with what I'm hearing now.
Yeah.
It's just more the wind
like
is rhythmic rather than occasional.
Yeah. But I do think you might hear voices in there.
Discernible or just kind of
Well-
distant, muffled, or unhearable?
Distant, muffled. Does that sound like somebody screaming maybe for a second, you think? And then it's quiet, and then it goes again.
Is a distant, muffled, maybe a scream happening every time? Like a repeat, like a record repeating
it's not
itself?
a record, because it's not the same kind of cry every single time. It's more like you're...
Recounting events from a distance?
Sort of. But I think in this moment you realize it is on the other side of the door with its ear right up against it. And this sound is whatever this creature sounds like when it's close and breathing. It doesn't sound like our breath. This is just what comes out of it.
And I pull my eye away from that glass.
Did you
Well,
hear
it's-
anything?
It's there. Yeah. It was listening for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
It-
how does sounds travel between this room and that room, Older?
What do you mean?
Could it hear Harry back?
I have no idea. It depends on if the office is doing anything.
I was also not talking. It may have heard breathing or something, but it was there. So the best way I could describe it, it felt like it was just sitting on the other side of the door doing the same thing as me.
Mirroring you again.
Perhaps,
Interesting.
yeah. It sounded like, gods, I don't know. It almost sounded like I was hearing its experiences with victims, but from a far distance. Because I kept hearing what sounded like muffled words and a scream every now and then, but they were different each time a breath happened. It was rhythmic. It sounded almost like wind for the breath, but not quite. Like I listen to the ocean through a shell,
Okay.
but rhythmic. And then the screams, even each rhythm, each exhale. Very.
Recognize any voices? Like,
No. I don't think so. Did I? Oh, Devil in the Details. Was that what the Devil in the Details was? That's the screams and okay. I couldn't glean anything else. It didn't sound familiar. If it was, I didn't recognize it. It was too muffled. Someone else might have a better chance at it, but I don't know. I'm not that.
Well, I'm willing
My luck
to
ain't
give it
physical,
a try.
I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Anybody else willing to give it a try?
It didn't seem like I could get through, if that makes sense, too. I didn't feel in danger. It was disconcerting as hell. But I didn't feel like I was about to get pulled in or sucked in or something. It was a different feeling than looking at it or its image, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was really, truly observing it, not seeing it.
I can try.
And again, to be fair, because it's impossible not to. That's how the human mind works. When you think, I shouldn't think of an elephant, now you're stuck thinking of an elephant, you know?
I knew an elephant was.
The image that I had of it before did flash in my mind, but I didn't feel like I was in peril. It may be this is a safe way to observe it, or safe with 12 asterisks after it. I hand you the glass.
Are you sure, Gus?
No, not at all.
You don't have to do it now if you don't want to.
All right, here's the deal. When we do observe it, I think I'm the one that looks. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think I know what you mean.
Because when it comes to, you know how I got out of Mary's grasp the other day?
Yeah, what did you do there? It's like
I think that's what I did to escape the dark room as well. So, out of the group of us, I think I'm the one that can run away most effectively if something does happen when we observe it. So that seems like a safe bet.
Okay.
But yes, I will, and I'm going to pass the glass away. I will say no to listening to it for now because I don't think I'm going to learn anything. I think the only thing that will learn anything is it, if I do that right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Would it be good then for maybe Jim? Because you're, frankly, the most observant of all of us.
Your magic is in truth, too. That's kind of what scares me about it.
Yeah, but if we define parts of it as truth, you might be able to discern underneath that. You won't bring in an assumption. We do.
It's true. I mean, I would have to do it as See, the problem is if our theory's right, that what we observe of it and our thoughts of it, our perception of it is what changes it. That truth we know, but I'm not sure how much more I can glean. I can give it a shot and see if I can find something else about it.
That's kind of what I was
Dig a little
thinking.
deeper.
We're still kind of going in blind.
Like Perseus.
Yeah, really.
I think
Would reinforce the metaphor whenever we do that. It's risk. Don't do it if you don't want to. I'm just
we don't have to
I just
decide.
don't
thinking
think
out
it would
loud.
be worth it.
Yeah, we don't have to decide now. But I think we're
What
on
do
the
you
right
think?
track.
I think maybe an artifact might be. Would you keep bringing up this shield of Perseus?
Yeah.
Might be something to explore. Now, where we could procure that, I mean, Devil's Dividend, or the contact that we have.
Boy. Okay. I'll go write a letter for the mailbox, and I point to the little mail satchel right by the door, hanging on the oh my God, I'm blanking. What is that called? Coat hanger.
Coat rack, yeah.
Coat rack by the door. My God. Then I go into my office, and you can hear me rummaging around for paper and things.
How's everyone's morning been? Been good?
Well, I mean, bonded myself to a book earlier today did have its interesting moments.
Yeah, my binding was way less painful.
I am happy to hear that for you,
Yeah.
but I'm alive, and I'll take that with a check mark, and it's not actively trying to eat me. I like that as well.
Yeah.
Thanks
no, I'm
again
glad
for all
that's not
y'all's
going
help, by the way.
I'm currently knocking on a wooden desk the entire time that you were saying that.
I do appreciate it. If Mark had gotten a hold of it, it would have been bad. He looked compelled.
Harry, so
Certainly
did you.
did. Yeah. You seemed very desperate to get that book. It's like your life depended on it.
Well, it did.
Did it?
Yeah. If I didn't have that book, if I don't have this book, I'd die.
Harry, that doesn't sound good.
Well, no, that's why I didn't want Mark to have it. I would have died and he would have been stuck with it next.
How did you know?
Gut feeling. Felt wrong. Like a heart palpitation, but lasting too long.
It's nice when a curse at least makes itself known like that, I guess.
Suppose so. But
I
again,
didn't know that the I gesture at the door. The stranger was following me for as long as it has.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess I didn't really know much of it being a curse until after this experience, but that's how I was able to work with it, as I described before.
A lot of curses in this room, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Certainly.
But
Jim,
seems like
you got anything going on? Anything we should know about?
I had a strange dream after my,
yeah, you
I
were
had a
mentioning
nap.
that, but you didn't describe it.
Yeah, it was one of those reoccurring dreams, but it ended differently this time. You all were there, and...
Oh, you have
Yeah.
recurring dreams of us?
No, this was the first time you all were there. I was... Just like it always started, I was at a table, betting everything I had, and then... Well, in this case, you all were there at the table. I was teaching you how to play Texas Hold'em. Losing almost every hand, like I normally do.
It's a good game.
And that's when, well, the loan shark came and pressed me and put a gun against my head. Like he always does. It usually ends with I get a shot to the back of the head, and he gets to keep the rose. This time was different. This time, shot Alder in the thigh and said that he was going to finish the job. Or, well, she was about to die, I should say. That's what was going on, and well, I stood up. I shot him.
Hmm.
When I woke up, it smelled like roses.